Friday the 13th, 2024. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We've got a lot to talk about today. A new scandal with Kamala, of course, because it's another day and there's another scandal. I am going to get into this Laura Loomer, Marjorie Taylor Greene business, which I'm pretty ticked off about. And there's some new polls out. There's a lot of things going on. But, of course, Friday's show is always open phones. We call it Open MAGA Mic Friday. And on Friday's show, the show prep is up to you all in the listening audience. So any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. You're not limited to the topics and stories that we bring up, okay? And our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631, a toll-free call no matter where you are listening to us. Okay, I want to first start, though, with this Kamala Harris bus scandal and Fox News Channel. This just really ticked me off. I was doing some stuff around the house yesterday, and I had Fox News on for quite a while in the background as I was doing stuff around the house, and then Martha MacCallum was on. So I don't know what time of day that is. I wasn't paying attention. I was pretty busy. But Martha MacCallum's show was on, and she's no MAGA person. She's no conservative. I don't know what she's doing on Fox. She should be on MSNBC, where she'd be comfortable. But I guess it's hard for her to find another TV gig with that neck problem she has. You know, Martha MacCallum, you know, she always looked much younger than she is. And then all of a sudden, her neck started showing her true age. And she's always doing things to try to hide her neck. But, you know, hey, that's it. Your neck is your neck. Okay? But anyway, she was a big Trump hater since 2015. She just was. Sometimes she covers it up and everything else. And Trump did take a jab at her. He was on Fox earlier this week. I played the soundbite. I'm not going to play it now, but he was on Fox after the Kamala debate, and they asked him if he would do a Fox News debate hosted by Bret Baier and Martha MacCallum. He said he would do a Fox News debate. This is before he said no more debates, okay, yesterday. But he said he would do a Fox News debate, but not with Martha MacCallum or Bret Baier. So Martha MacCallum took a break from trying to conceal her aging neck on high-definition 4K television, and now she's just, she's in the Republican establishment, never Trumper camp again. And they had at the bottom of the screen that the governor of Ohio, DeWine, is that how you say his name? That he was going to be on later in the show to talk about the situation in Springfield, Ohio. So I stayed. I kept it on because I wanted to hear what he said. I was going to say, well, you know, later on I can look it up online and watch it, but I wanted to hear what he had to say, DeWine. And I was disgusted both by the governor of Ohio and Martha MacCallum. They talked about this. She had him on. It was live. And the studio was in Columbus because I recognize, even though I haven't lived there since I was a kid, some of the same buildings are still there on the cityscape skyline behind him in the studio that he was in. And DeWine was on with Martha MacCallum. Martha MacCallum did not once ask about the cats, the dogs, or the ducks being eaten. She didn't even mention it. She didn't, and I thought, what I thought was going to happen with this interview is, because I know Martha MacCallum hates Trump, and she's really pissed that he said he wouldn't do a debate with her moderating, I expected her to ask DeWine about the cats being eaten and all this stuff, so that they could use it to ridicule and make fun of Trump. She didn't even do that. She didn't mention it. And DeWine's no better. All I heard him talk about was the great Haitians of Springfield. I didn't hear him have any concern for the people of Springfield, including the homeless people, many of which are veterans who are out in the cold because they've given these vouchers to the Haitians. He's sending the Ohio Highway Patrol to Springfield to do some traffic work because the Haitians are causing accidents or something. But all he talked about, I talked to people in Springfield, and they'd say the Haitians, they're the hardest working people. They wish they could hire more of them. This guy, I heard he had some type of Haitian charity thing going on. She mentioned this, named after his daughter who had passed away down in Haiti. There's this old saying, I probably shouldn't say this because it's long forgotten. But they actually, last time I heard this used was in a Kevin Costner's Dances with Wolves. Remember, he was hanging around with the Indians? And when the army finally caught up to him, they said something to him that you used to hear in old movies a lot. That a guy who was out west and would start living with the Indians, they would say, and then civilization would catch up and he was fighting for the Indians all of a sudden, they would say, he's gone Injun. You ever heard that? Sometimes there's another saying, he's gone native. Governor DeWine of Ohio has gone Haitian, okay? He is the governor of the Haitians of Ohio. And it was really disgusting to hear him not once mention the people of Springfield, Ohio, who are living in just terror. You know, and it was disgusting. And I was really disgusted by that whole segment on Fox. And I still kept the TV on, still had Fox on, doing stuff around the house, had Fox on. And then Peter Ducey, who's gained a lot of weight. He used to be like in shape and everything else, and now he looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy. And his skin is so pasty, he looks like a vampire, like he's in True Blood or something. But he's inside this Kamala Harris event, which was where was it? I have it here. It was in North Carolina. Now, the press were pretty close to the stage. I couldn't tell, but they were pretty close to the stage. You go to a Trump rally, the press are far from the stage. He was pretty close to the stage. But on his camera, it looked like a full house from the camera angle he was in. But a lot of that is perception. I told you guys when I went to that CNN town hall with Loomer years ago, it was at the Panthers arena. There were very few people there, and they had us in certain sections, and they did camera tests before the broadcast, and to make it look like the arena was filled, and it was empty. They just had us all bunched in together in a few sections where the cameras would pick up behind the speakers. It was, another Leni Riefenstahl production. And people, I use that reference a lot. Leni Riefenstahl was Hitler's filmmaker. She made all the propaganda movies for Hitler, Triumph of the Will, and such. And she was also she's the only surviving woman that I know of that survived the war that had sex with Hitler. All the other women he had sex with, including his niece, wound up dead. But anyway, that's when I say a Leni Riefenstahl production, Triumph of the Will propaganda film. That's what that means. But anyway, it looked like a full house from where Ducey was reporting, and I knew something was up with this. And then I turn off the TV. I can't listen to any of this stuff. And I go on social media. There's people out in front of this Kamala event filling up X with video. They brought a fleet of buses loaded with people to the event in North Carolina. In fact, for all I could tell, no one drove themselves there. They all came in these charter buses. And the buses were from the same company. It was the same company's buses. And there was just a big scandal. Remember, she drove people from Massachusetts on buses to New Hampshire for an event. Remember that a couple weeks ago? And Ducey's in there talking about what she's going to be talking about. The story's outside, Ducey. Get outside. The story's outside. But they hate Trump. So they don't give you the real story. It was disgusting. So this bus scandal of Kamala Harris's is on, her support is fake. They bus people in. I've been to more Trump rallies and speeches than I can remember. People drive there in their own cars. I've been to a couple of Trump events at the Panthers arena. And that people, well, if you're like me, you park across the street at the Sawgrass Mills Mall, so you don't have to pay. That's where I park. Anytime I go there, unless I'm going with like my wife or something, I don't want to be cheap, or my daughter. But if I'm by myself, I park across the street or with my friends and park for free. I don't want to be cheap with my wife or daughter, But the parking lots are full because people drive there in their own cars. No fleets of charter buses. Okay. And I'd like the stories outside, especially after that cross state line bus scandal of Kamala's a couple weeks ago from Massachusetts to New Hampshire. The stories outside, Peter Ducey. I know you and your dad hate Trump, especially your dad, but report the news. And the question is, the story is a couple things. The buses, and where did they come from? Are these people even from North Carolina? How did they end up on the bus? There's all kinds of stories there, but Ducey doesn't want to do that. They suck over there. They suck. And, I got to take a break. But if you're on hold, hang in there. We'll take our first break of this Friday. Again, it is open phones on Friday, open MAGA mic Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game. I want to talk about Dr. Appleton, my chiropractor. He wants to be your chiropractor too, in his laser away pain treatment. As you grow old, you get aches and pains, and I thought that was just part of getting older, because I can remember when my grandparents were the age I am now. Oh my goodness, isn't that scary? For me, it is. And I remember my grandparents having all kinds of aches and pains. Oh, my back hurts. This hurts. I can't do that. I can't do this. And when I started to get all these pains, I just thought, well, getting older, that's life. And then I met Dr. Appleton and found out that that's not true. That not only do you not have to live in pain, you can be pain-free without taking addicting pain medications that don't do anything other than make you a junkie and mask the pain. Dr. Appleton's laser away pain treatment actually repairs the damage in your body that's causing the pain. The pain's a signal from your body that something's broken. And the laser away pain treatment repairs the damage causing you the pain. It works on every type of pain I've ever heard of. Give him a call. Remember, walk-ins are welcome. Appointments are not necessary, even on Saturdays. Dr. Appleton's number is 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonChiro.com. We'll be right back. Who are those people on the buses? Where did they come from?
Hey, it's Shannon on the radio with a quick reminder that if you like music by the Stones, the Beatles, the Beach Boys, the Four Seasons, and all those big hits from Motown, this morning, right after 10 a.m., it's all back on the air, right here on South Florida's true oldies channel.
Are you feeling safe and secure in your home? Unfortunately, millions of Americans are vulnerable to break-ins every year. But what if you can have peace of mind knowing that your home is protected 24/7? At Sloman's, we understand the importance of home security. That's why we're offering a free home system with free professional installation. When you use our low-cost central station monitoring,
Safe start to your week.
and alert authorities and give you real-time updates.
Start to your weekend. Safe start to your week.
24/7 protection from any threat.
Start to your weekend. Safe.
Your home and family and your valuables with Sloan's comprehensive home security solutions. Call 1-833-5050 today to schedule your free installation and start sleeping better tonight. Sloan's, protecting what matters most. Call 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050 now. At Sloan's, we understand the importance of home security.
George, $20 super chat. Thank you so much, George. Thank you. I appreciate that. George Erickson. Thank you very much. Yeah, the buses are, and big story. And she's got scandal because they bust those people across state lines for the New Hampshire rally from Massachusetts. So, But Ducey's standing inside reporting, saying nothing other than, I'm here, and Kamala will be speaking. That's it. I mean, he had nothing. DeWine. What a jerk. I feel sorry for you guys in Ohio. He's a jerk. I didn't hear him say one thing about the people of Springfield. All he talked about was the good Haitian people and what they need and deserve.
The Greater South Florida Chamber of Commerce has fantastic free-to-attend events all year long. Join us for their next great expo in your area.
Coming up, it's the Greater South Florida Chamber's Senior Lifestyle Expo, Wednesday, September 18th from 11 to 3 at the Brennedy at Tradition Senior Living in Port St. Lucie. A day filled with fun and informative activities catered to seniors. The True Oldies scene will be on site from 11 to 1, giving away a free cruise for 2. Come say hi.
Learn more and see a full list of events at GreaterSouthFloridaChamber.com.
We'll be back right after this.
Business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954.
If you're on Jorge, get there.
8445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954 977 9445. Thank you.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show. 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Harrison Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
Alrighty, 22 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Our number 1-888-465-2631. We'll go to the phones. Again, Friday is open phones. Open MAGA Mike Friday. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, all right, I'm on. All right, hey, how are you this morning, Brian?
I'm all right.
PD, a couple things. PDF yesterday, Patrick Bet-David. As soon as your show ended, I put his podcast on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Mentioned the one guy with the beard, the comedian. You know who I'm talking about?
Yep.
The little series. He mentioned basically mentioned your show right away. He said, "I just heard," and so he listens.
Who? What did they? I was mentioned on Patrick Bet-David yesterday.
That I just heard that the sorority story right away. He said, I just heard the sorority story this morning before we came in, and he says, so I said to myself, oh my God, right away he's listening to your show. Yeah, well,
well, they're in Fort Lauderdale, and I've met his number 2 guy over there, and a couple other people that work for him. I really want to get invited over there. I mean, obviously, I'd like to be a guest because it would make me more famous. But I'd like to go over there because Patrick Bet-David, his building's on Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale. I did a YouTube video out in front of the place. He bought a bank building, and Patrick Bet-David's studio is actually inside the vault of the old bank. And it's a real vault. It's got the door and everything else on it. And I've wanted to go over there just to take a tour of it. So if any of the Patrick Bet-David people are listening, get in touch with me. I'd love to do that.
Sure. I'm sure, because it was immediately after the show. I sent you a message. I was like in shock. All right.
Don't be so shocked that people listen to me, Richie.
No, you know that. Hey, I'm going to get into the real nitty gritty, but I got to throw something else out there because you didn't want to talk about iguanas. When that guy was talking to you about the iguanas, I was like you, yeah, this can't be true. I Googled it, and it says hanging chicken. It's a Trinidad, and that's their delicacy, and it's not illegal to eat them and kill them in the United States.
Yeah.
If you Google it, you'll find it.
Okay.
Get that out of the way. Now, the other thing is about this. Now we're going to get into the meat of the story. I watched the Dolphin game last night. At the end of the Dolphin game, I turned on Stephen Gardner, and I believe in Stephen Gardner. I mean, he tells a lot of. I'm sure you see him. And not only Stephen Gardner, there's another guy I listen to, and he's very credible. He's an attorney from New York. There's a story out there. There's a whistleblower. I thought that was going to be your opening. There's a whistle.
Well, we're here till 9. You're talking about the ABC whistleblower. There's an ABC. I did a YouTube video on this yesterday already, but I was going to get to it later. I didn't want to do 3 days in a row leading with the debate, but there's an ABC whistleblower who signed an affidavit that has said a couple of things. One, they gave Kamala the questions in advance. They say they were sample questions, but they were the real questions. And there was also an agreement between ABC and Kamala that they would fact-check Trump, but not fact-check her. And this guy, this whistleblower, apparently has signed an affidavit. Yeah.
Yeah, that is to me, that's the biggest deal. And the reason I brought up the Dolphin game, it was on Prime, but I don't watch Prime. I get it some other way. But I'm watching this thing, and then they come up with a commercial about ABC, the most trusted name in the news.
Oh, my goodness. 40 Emmys? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Isn't it? I mean, these people are sick.
Yeah.
The 40 Emmys for a news organization that's so rotten and so fake. I mean, to me. I mean. Well,
let me tell you. I've got some stuff. I was going to get to this later in the show, but I'm up against the bottom of the hour, but I'll get into it later. But ABC is in trouble, and we very well. And I know this. I know a lot of you think it's crazy. David Muir could end up gone over this. This was incredibly damaging to them. And some people that are Democrats are actually calling for an investigation into this. You know, what they did. There's broadcasting standards. It's not like it used to be. I mean, there used to be a lot of restrictions on you when I first started on the air, and but there are broadcasting standards. And what they did wasn't just the normal fake news liberal bias. It was hardcore textbook propaganda, very dishonest, and very well. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. But because it involves a presidential campaign, it might be illegal what they did with the campaigns.
Yeah, interference.
Something.
I'll tell you something. When you start looking at her, she looked like she knew what was coming ahead of time. She knew what she could get away with.
And this sorority. My wife is big into her sorority. Okay, and she's very into it. And she was telling, this, I was talking yesterday, this is the first black sorority at Howard. And I was talking to a friend of mine, a MAGA guy that's a friend of mine in San Francisco yesterday. He told me it's the most expensive black sorority to get into, too. It's very exclusive. There's over 300,000 members of it nationwide. But my wife was telling me this. She says, do you know how big of a deal it would be for that sorority to have the first female president as one of their members? So, this girl from ABC News, she's on a mission to try to make that happen. And David Muir is going to really, I think he is done. He's going to go the way of Dan Rather.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be, I don't think this is over. You said you didn't want to talk about it. I think this is just a...
Well, no, it's not that I didn't want to talk. It's not that I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to lead the show with it 3 days in a row, the ABC debate. I don't want to become a one-note Charlie, you know what I mean? I was going to get to it later.
We do know that you brought up the bus thing just the other day. This is so ridiculous.
This is new. And...
yeah, she's a phony.
Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you telling me about the Patrick Bet-David thing because I want to be on that show so bad. You know how much it would blow me up to be a guest on that show. Oh my goodness.
Not for nothing, but you're very knowledgeable. I mean, you'd make a great.
You think he'd let me? You think he'd let me sign the wall back there? Yeah. Could you imagine?
When it comes in there, signs. I think everyone comes in there, signs that wall.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm famous enough for Patrick Bet-David, but I would. Yeah.
He also brought up the video that you played when she did that news thing when she was talking. It was exactly what you said, and it was not far after.
Richie, I'll toot my own horn for a minute. A lot of people listen to me and steal my material. I don't know about that yesterday. Rush used to do this a lot, because he Rush was friends with Steven. Listen, but I give you one example where people call me all the time with things like this. Glenn Beck stole something I did the same day. This was a few years ago. I've heard him do this many times, but there was one time that what I did was so outside the box, no one would have thought about this. When Trump was moving the U.S. Embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, Jerusalem's the capital, Tel Aviv is not, I did this whole thing on the air. What if Israel said, we're not going to have our embassy in the United States in Washington, D.C.? That is occupied Native American Indian territory. We're going to have our embassy in Cleveland because we don't recognize Washington as the capital. We're going to have the Israeli embassy in Cleveland. And I talked about that for 3 hours, and Glenn Beck did the same thing. He switched it out to Milwaukee. But who would have thought of that? So I knew right then Glenn Beck or Phil or somebody over there stole my thing. But yeah.
I know you're going to have a break. If you redo his podcast at the end of your show, just the very beginning, when his first time he gets on here, he brings.
Well, that's awesome. I listen. People will think I'm sucking up to Patrick Bet-David, and I'm not. But I listen to very few shows. But I do listen to Patrick Bet-David quite a bit, 3 or 4 times a week. Absolutely.
Oh, very credible.
Mm-hmm.
And smart as hell. His whole group is smart as hell.
Yeah.
Charts. He brought up the charts yesterday that the needle with conservatives.
Yeah.
The older guy, his partner.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I'll check it out. Richie. I appreciate it. I got to run. I'm late for the break. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Clay and Craig.
D.C. is not a state. It's not a state, and it's not in a state. It is in the District of Columbia. The reason that is, somebody mentioned that, the reason D.C. is not in a state, it's not even an independent city, it's under congressional rule, is because you don't want to if Washington was in a state or was an independent city, that would mean that the governor and the local city officials would have authority over the federal government. Yeah, I've wanted to go to Patrick Bet-David's studio just to make a YouTube video showing it, because I think it's pretty cool that studio is in a vault, But are you kidding me? Of course I'd love to be a guest on that show. My YouTube channel would blow up.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check, brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
If you're on hold, hang in there. Now, you guys that are new, nobody answers the phone. What I do when I see the phone ringing, I just put the callers on hold, and no one answers the phone. So a lot of times people get confused. They keep calling and hanging up. They don't understand what's going on. No one answers the phone. I just put the callers on. Like, here's somebody ringing right now. I answer and just put it on hold. That's how you do it when you're going screenless. And people call a lot, and they don't know, and they'll hang up and call back and hang up and call back. But if we answer the phones, that's not going screenless.
Friday the 13th.
That's right.
So I was like, oh, snap. Like, how do you not know?
Yeah.
And it's fun. Did I tell you? Jesus, not too much. Did I ever tell you what happened Friday the 13th? And I was on there with Birdman.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, it's Friday the 13th,
Yeah.
superstition, blah, 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 blah. I was like, well, actually, for Italians, it's good luck. Like, you
Yeah.
consider the number 13 good luck. And I kid you not. Like, it started raining. The whole building power went out. We were down for like 2 hours off the air because everything's off. It was just darkness.
Oh my gosh.
He looked at me and he's like, you have to say this.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I've never seen anything in front of it.
That's crazy.
I was like, how the heck?
That's crazy.
I tell you, it was like 5 minutes after we had that conversation. Lightning hit like had to be one power line from the...
Something happened.
And the whole building.
That's hilarious.
I was like, okay.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like, couldn't have any better coincidence than that.
Oh my gosh.
So, you know what? Like I said, knock out wood, hope nothing
Yeah, exactly.
And online at cruisingdepot.com to make your reservation and lock in our private group rate. Nothing comes close to Celebrity Cruises.
Hi folks, Anita Mitchell here. Please join me on Tuesday at 7 p.m. for What's Your Story with Anita Mitchell. Join me this Tuesday at 7 p.m. for What's Your Story with Anita Mitchell. That's on the True Oldies station.
Men, just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel it. At the Bio Station, Westville Way, Dr. Rich Patel, expert performing replacement therapy, is here to
What time does Barry call in today?
7:45.
Okay.
You'll feel younger, have more energy, and even get your sex drive back. And for women, hormone replacement pellet therapy can completely stop and reverse the signs and symptoms of menopause. No more mood swings, better sleep, and no more nights
I did a stream this morning on Loomer,
at 561-320-8855.
but I was thinking about texting her and having her on today, but I don't know. All right, there's only one opening on the board, and for those that are new, just I was telling people this off the air in our live chat. The calls are screenless, right? I talk about that a lot. So we don't answer the phone. When the phone's ringing, we just put the call on hold. No one answers the phone, and a lot of times people don't understand, and they hang up and call back and hang up and call back. If we answered the phone, we wouldn't be going screenless. You know what I mean? All right, one opening at 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Fred in St. Pete, Florida.
Hey, Fred. What's up?
I got a couple things. Number one, you were talking about Mike DeWine, the governor of Ohio.
Yeah, he's a piece of garbage. He's a bad man.
He reminds me of Charlie Crist, actually. But
yeah, that's not a bad comparison. Yeah, when Charlie Crist was a fake Republican.
His family, Mike DeWine, his family owned a bar called DeWine's in a little town called Xenia, Ohio.
Yeah.
From Springfield.
Mm-hmm.
It was an old-time billiard hall, and they had guys that would actually, rack the balls for you and stuff like that.
Well, this is before you get to your thing. Here's the thing. I've lived in Florida since I was 11 years old in 1982, right? But I'm originally from Ohio, so Ohio's still, I got a connection there, right? And when I was disgusted by him, he didn't say one thing about the people of Springfield who have lived their entire lives in Ohio that have lost family members, are homeless now because they got kicked out of a home, or nothing. All he talked about was how great the Haitian people are. I couldn't believe it. He's a pig.
Yeah. Another thing, you were talking about a couple of days ago about going. I know this is ridiculous, but going to the store to pick up tampons for your wife.
Yeah.
Brought to mind. I used to date a dancer, and she called me one day.
You mean by dancer? Do you mean stripper?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And she was a great girl. I'm not kidding you, man. She's very. Anyway, she's nice. So anyway, she sent me. She called me. Told me to go to the mall. The Spencer's Gift.
Oh my goodness.
Pasties for her.
Yeah.
Them pasty things,
Mm-hmm.
That brought to mind. Although, the people at Spencer Gift, they don't care.
When Steve and I used to have a cable access TV show that we did for many years, and I have it was so long ago, I have all the episodes on VHS tape, and we did some really crazy shows. It was on cable access, they had no rules, and we did one show on strippers, and we went to the strip club that was the #1 high-end strip club in Fort Lauderdale at the time. And we went there and we spent the day with the strippers. And they came out and they did a show. This was like at lunchtime. We went there. Steve and I got off the air. We went to the strip club at 10 in the morning. and they put on a whole strip show for us. They turned with all the lights and everything, and it was awesome. And then we went back in the dressing room, which is where all guys fantasize of going. You do not want to go in the dressing room because the lights on the stages that are all those different colors, they cover up a lot, including the bruises and stuff. I mean, it was, and what I learned spending the day with the strippers? You know what I learned? Strippers are all what? What are all strippers?
All business.
All strippers are prostitutes.
No.
Oh, please.
Not all. No, not all. The one I dated was not. She was very smart and.
Was she working her way through college?
Well, no, but.
Yeah.
Her own business.
You hear all the what was the business?
Well, she hadn't got one yet.
She hasn't got one yet. Yeah, you always hear these stories of these girls. They're working their way through law school, medical school, or anything else. Have you ever been a doctor that used to be a stripper or a lawyer?
Not yet.
Yeah, and you probably won't. All right, hey, listen, I appreciate the. Well, it sounds like you still hang around the strip clubs.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I truly don't.
Okay, appreciate the call. Now, I'm not going to say who this person is, but I'm going to give you a hint. When I turned 18, my friends took me to a strip club, and it was in Fort Lauderdale. And now 18, you may. I'm not going to confirm if someone calls in with who they think this is. I'm not going to confirm it. Okay, I'm not going to let you know who this is because I don't think it's fair all these years later. My friends took me to a strip club when I was 18. So when I was 18, that was 1989. And it was in Fort Lauderdale on 17th Street Causeway. And it was, I don't know if I can even say the name of it on the air, so I'm not going to say it. But it's the one across from, I don't know if it's still there because I don't follow strip clubs. But it was across the street from like where that Publix and stuff is on 17th Street Causeway in Fort Lauderdale. And it was a terrible experience. Now, keep in mind, it was 1989. One of the biggest rock stars in America happened to be there. And he had a lot of money. So he had all the girls. And I'm not going to confirm nor deny who this is, but I'll give you a hint. They've been in the news for the last 2 days for something. One of the biggest rock stars of '89. They've been in the news in the last 48 hours for something. I'm not going to say what it is because I might as well say the name. And they were there, and I was pretty impressed that they were there when I got there, until I realized that they had all the girls. So it was really a wasted trip. All right. Anyway, enough about the strippers. Okay. Okay. That was. Can anybody figure out? You know who I'm talking about? Oh, Mike knows who I'm talking about. Oh well. All right, and it was a tiny little place. There were only like 5 people in there. Me, my friends, and this guy, this rock star, and one other person they were with. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, howdy.
Hi, this is Diana from Springfield. Good morning.
Oh, hey. I haven't heard from you guys in Springfield in a couple days. I thought they might have gotten to you. The voodoo priest or something.
No, we've been busy doing interviews on different news channels like Glenn Beck and so on, but the citizens are coalescing and coming together. We are incensed, absolutely livid that Mike DeWine would do us dirty like that and finally release some funds. We've been begging for money, and then he comes out and giving my tax dollars to help the Haitians. We're the ones that need the help.
Did you see him on? Did you see your governor on with Martha McCallum on Fox yesterday?
Because
he doesn't care about you. He only cares about you if you're Haitian. The only thing he's doing, and they didn't even bring up the cats and stuff. The only thing he's doing is sending the highway patrol there to set up some, I guess, speed traps with traffic. That's it. He's doing nothing. He's going to give you tickets.
Well, and the second story is that our government is begging, is asking for an apology from Trump and J.D. Vance, if you can believe that.
For what?
for mentioning the cats in it.
Now let me. I understand there are big problems in Springfield, but you're calling me from Springfield, and I just want to. I want to confirm or debunk. Is it true that Haitians have been eating people's pets? That it's happened?
I can neither confirm or deny.
No, come on. Is it yes? You know, you're there. What's the? Has it happened or not?
Brian, come on. Behind every grain, for every story, there's a grain of truth.
So yes.
Okay, no.
No, it is not happening.
Brian, come on.
I don't.
A grain of truth. Do we have video evidence? You can't video this stuff. If you video it, you're dealing with Haitians. You're dealing with people that if you put a phone up, please don't pivot to this.
Well, no. I'm going to tell you why I'm bringing it up. And I'm not pivoting to anything. This came up in the presidential debate the other night, and Kamala Harris was laughing at President Trump when he brought it up. So who was right, Trump or Kamala? All right, you don't want to tell me.
I'm going to say Trump was right.
Okay.
I'm still going to say we don't have video proof. The ducks is absolutely true. Absolutely true.
Mm-hmm.
Citizens, when you're pushed up against the wall, which we have been for several years, and a story gets started, if you've heard the phenomena of mass hysteria, people are going to talk. It's very difficult.
Well, I'm just okay. I'm not asking you for video, but I'm gonna tell you this. Okay, I don't remember. There was you and some others that called from Springfield a couple days ago, and a couple of people told me yes. One. I don't know if it was you or another lady. I can't remember, but one of the Springfield callers said that a cat went missing of a friend's, and they found it hanging, being skinned on a tree. And the way you're talking sounds like no, that's not true. I'm not asking if there's video. I'm asking if the story is true. That because I've seen the body cam of the police officer where people called the police and said to the police that they saw it. It's in the Daily Mail today. The woman in that body cam footage, it's being reported in the Daily Mail, had hair around her mouth and teeth from the cat. You're in Springfield, and the way you answered sounded like a no. So
Cleveland. That was another city. That was not Springfield.
That was in Cleveland. So the lady the lady that in the body cam footage wasn't in Springfield. It was in Cleveland.
No, another Ohio city, and she was not Haitian. She was having a mental issue. So that is not a video. I
don't want to just focus in on that, but I'm trying to get a straight answer if that's happened or not in Springfield, because it's a big controversy, and Kamala was laughing at President Trump over it.
Looking for the lady that called in for the incident with the cat in the tree. We're still looking for her so that we can get a concrete verbal confirmation from her. We are actively looking for her.
Okay. I mean, it's important to set the record straight because I don't want President Trump running around saying something that's not true.
And that's what we're doing. Our investigative team is looking for this lady who said that, and we're hot on the trail.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm late for a break, but thanks for keeping in touch and keep me updated. All right, take care. We'll be right back. She said that's Cleveland. Let me pull that story up. Let me find that story. This is the body cam. She said it was in Cleveland. Let me see what they say. The woman with the body cam was in Canton. It's in the Daily Mail today.
Stand up. Stand up. Put your hands behind your back.
I just got to listen to
Someone
the
got rubber gloves. She's covering blood.
for the language
I bet you got gloves.
before I play it on the radio.
You got rubber gloves. Smile for me. Go like this. Did you eat that cat? Did you eat it? No, why'd you kill it? Get in there. It's ridiculous. It's all right, other kitty. You're safe. Did you guys see all this?
No, we pulled up and she was just laying there with it.
Did you see her eating it? She was eating it?
Yeah. She said, but it's blood on her shoes. She said she stumped it out.
Yeah.
33 gun.
Well, you know.
Okay. I didn't hear any language, so, but I didn't hear the end of it. I don't have time to listen to the end, so I might have to dump more.
Learn more and see a list of events at GreaterSouthFloridaChamber.com. We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All right, we are back. Call us on hold, stand by. Okay, there's a big story in the Daily Mail about the body cam lady that was eating the cat. And I was talking to the caller about it. She was in Canton, Ohio, not Springfield. It's in the Daily Mail story. And I have a longer version of the body cam, which I'm going to play in a moment. Okay? Here, let me tell you, it's important to get the story straight. And I was trying to get it straight with that lady, but she was being non-responsive about what's going on here. We don't want President Trump out there saying things that are inaccurate. And I gotta tell you something. I haven't said this on the air yet because I was gonna wait to see what happened today, but I'm gonna say it now. I got calls from 4 or 5 people from Springfield, Ohio. I guess it was like 3 days ago. I talked to every single one of them about the pet eating. They all confirmed it, including that lady. Then the story got big that day. I'm not saying because I did it. It got big. It was getting big, and I was just first, but others would have done it anyway. And then I didn't hear from any of them for a couple days. And my thought has been, over the last couple days, especially after the debate, that something's happened. That someone's gotten to these people. You know, Springfield is a small town where everybody knows everybody that's a local. Okay? And I felt that someone had gotten to these people, and that's why I hadn't heard from them again. And I'm going to tell you something. I carried her long. I took that break late, which I'm trying not to do, because then I get backed up and it's a break it seems like every 5 minutes, but it's not when I get behind on the breaks. And I'm going to throw this out to you guys to let me know. That lady sounded like a hostage video to me, okay? She did not sound the same as when I talked to her the other day. Did she? I don't think she did. So I don't know what's going on. Now, this body camera footage, it's in the Daily Mail. I tweeted this story. I got the whole video now. The woman in the body cam, the police report says, had fur on her lips and blood on her hands. And the people that called were there speaking to her, and they did see her eating the cat. Now, Canton is still in Ohio, okay? So it does not matter whether or not it's Springfield or Canton. It's still Ohio, where they're bringing this large group of Haitians. They're not dumping them all off in Springfield. They're dropping them off all over Ohio, okay? Let me play the body cam.
Put your hands behind your back. Someone got rubber gloves. She's covering blood. I bet you got gloves. You got rubber gloves. Smile for me.
Smile with your teeth.
Go like this. Did you eat that cat? Did you eat it? No, why'd you kill it?
And she's got fur on her mouth.
Kill us. It's all right, other kitty. You're safe. Did you guys see all this?
No, we pulled up and she was just laying there with you.
Did you see her eating it? She was eating it?
Yeah.
See? Multiple witnesses.
She said, but it blood on her shoes. She said she stumped it out.
Yeah. Well, you don't kill a cat and go to the hospital. You go to jail.
Southwest with CM 410221. CM 410221.
That's what she was saying. Yeah.
Copy out at 10th and Duber with CM 410221. 2259 hours.
You guys never seen her before?
I've
seen her over there, but
you call the Humane Society to see if they'll come pick this cat up. It's deceased.
Okay. And she had fur in her mouth. We're just trying to get to the bottom of it. And I want to ask you guys out there, the lady from Springfield, did she not have a different tune today? Did that sound like a hostage video to you? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Yes, you're on the air.
Oh, hey. It's Joan from Tampa Bay. How you?
All right, Joan, what's up?
Well, I watched the rally last night, and he says no tax on overtime. That's a wonderful thing.
Absolutely. It's beautiful. No tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, and no tax on tips. Yeah, that's great.
Right. But, at times, I always made under $100,000 a year. I would get little bonuses, like $2,000 or $3,000. And they took 1/3 of that in taxes.
Mm-hmm.
What about that, I mean, if you're a big, highfalutin guy, yeah, and you get major,
When you talk about, when you're talking about overtime, most people that are hourly workers don't make $100,000 a year. Most people that are hourly workers make under that.
I didn't either, but the thing is, I would make like $30,000 a year.
Are you retired? Okay, so what do you want your money back from those bonuses you got taxed on years ago?
No, but I think people that make under $100,000 a year, when they get a bonus for doing a good job, they should not pay tax on that because they take 1/3.
I'm against all taxes. I think all the taxing should be done like it used to be in the old days, through the import taxes. That's how they used to do it. And the government's just too big and spends too much money. I agree with you. There should be, all these taxes should be gone. There's no need for it.
Another issue, okay? Another issue.
We're almost out of time, but I'll give you about 10 seconds.
Okay, before Obamacare, I paid $55 a month. I had zero deductible. After Obamacare, I had $55 biweekly. After Obamacare, I had $165 biweekly.
Yeah. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. I know. Obamacare's, he wrecked it. Well, listen, we're out of time for the hour. I appreciate the call. She seemed a little ticked at Trump that she had to pay taxes like 20 years ago. I don't get it. Okay, we'll be right back.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and Heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. My name is podcast live every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. And come to the best place in town to catch football Sundays, the Paddock Restaurant at PBKC. It's feast and football every week with a delicious all-you-can-eat buffet plus a draft beer for just $25. Plus, you can find out how to get it for free by calling 561-683-2222 extension 199. Great food at over 140 HD TVs, 3 big screens, and drink specials every football Sunday. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Feeling safe and secure in your home? Unfortunately, millions of Americans are vulnerable to break-ins every year. But what if you can have peace of mind knowing that your home is protected 24/7? At Sloman's, we understand the importance of home security. We're offering a free home security system with free professional installation. When you use our low-cost central station monitoring, our top-of-the-line systems are designed to detect intruders and alert authorities and give you real-time updates right to your smartphone. And with our state-of-the-art monitoring center, you'll have 24/7 protection from any threat. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your home and family and your valuables with Sloan's comprehensive home security solutions. Call 1-833-283-5050 today to schedule your free installation and start sleeping better tonight. Sloan's, protecting what matters most. Call 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050 now. At Sloan's, we understand the importance of home security. And now, a message from Scott on CutMyKilowatts.com.
This is Scott. CutMyKilowatts.com. We're back. Dog days of summer are upon us. Your AC is struggling, running constant, trying to hold the temperature. Maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill has gone up even double. Radiant burn is stop the heat gain, lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees, cutting the FPL bills up to 40%. Dog days of summer sales, 50% on radiant burn and insulation removal, rat proofing. We even do AC ducts in the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500 off radiant burner over 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet, plus a 30% federal tax credit. So call now 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner Scott. That's 954-939-1500 or CutMyKilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks. Easier than ordering a pizza.
When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to any lab test now at Boca and any lab test now at Coral Springs. Their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor can order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit any lab test now at Boca and any lab test now at Coral Springs. There's lots of any lab test nows, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now at Boca and any lab test now at Coral Springs. And make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30.
Let me ask you, that lady from Springfield, did it sound like a hostage call to you? Like she had totally changed her tune? Like somebody had gotten to her? Totally different. Yeah, you know, that Springfield caller, you know, we heard from a lot of Springfield people the other day. And I know we have listeners all over the country and in Springfield, but we heard from too many in a row. And they were all from Springfield, Ohio, by the way, which I've confirmed. But somebody put the word out on a message board or a Facebook group or something in Springfield and got people, told them to call in is what happened, I think. And someone's obviously talked to them and said that they shouldn't be talking this way. I don't know who got to them, but somebody got, that woman, I know she's a regular listener to the show. She was singing a different tune. Now, before I go back to the phones, it is open phones, but I want to mention something about the debate. There's a story today that a former Clinton official is calling for an investigation of ABC News over the debate. They're calling for an internal investigation, so they're kind of letting ABC off the hook, but they're calling for an investigation of ABC News over the debate. the guy that is the former, he is not a famous person. I vaguely remember him. Mark Penn is his name. Mark Penn was a pollster and advisor for Clinton, and he came around during the Newt Gingrich Contract for America time. I haven't heard his name in years. But he was a top Clinton pollster, and he was with Clinton during his re-election all the way till he left office in 2000 or so. And he is the guy, Mark Penn. Now, this is just by my recollection, and we're going back 25 years or more. Okay, really, we're going back 30 years. It's hard to believe if we're talking about 94, or 96, which was Bill Clinton's re-election, was in 96. So it's basically almost 30 years. So, you know, I may not be 100% accurate on this, just going by my memory. But my recollection is that Mark Penn, because we used to talk about him back in those days, that he developed the modern internal polling, the polls we never see. He developed the modern internal polling and came up with all kinds of statistical ways to do it that had never been done before. And my recollection is he's the one that came up with the soccer mom group and that name, the soccer mom. And what Mark Penn would do was Bill Clinton, when he ran for re-election, changed his tune on a lot of issues. Mark Penn was part of this by identifying people that they could convince to vote for him that normally wouldn't have in that 96 re-election. Reason this is important, I've been telling you for weeks and weeks and weeks that the Democrat establishment, the power brokers behind the scenes that you don't see too much, want Kamala to lose and are working towards that effort, and they're really working to help Trump win against Kamala. This guy, Mark Penn, is in with the Clintons like nobody's business. He is deep, deep, deep Democrat Party establishment. He's a behind-the-scenes guy who's not famous, but he's a behind-the-scenes power broker inside the Democrat Party. And he's the one who's out there calling for an internal investigation into the debate by ABC. And you see what I mean? So I think it's a confirmation that my theory that the Democrat establishment are trying to purge themselves of these lunatics that are destroying their party. This gender stuff and the girls' sports, the jihadis, all this stuff. Like I saw a thing today. There's a story of parents dropping their kids off at college at the University of Michigan, and there's a bunch of people wearing those jihadi scarves over their heads. You know what I'm talking about, the Arafat things? It's pretty scary, huh? I wouldn't drop my kid off. We would take a gap year. I wouldn't let my kid go to school with that. I would do whatever I could do to stop it. We'd take a gap year. I'd buy my daughter a car. I would do something. I wouldn't let her go to school with these jihadis because not only is it dangerous, her mind's going to be poisoned. The Democrat Party is trying to purge themselves of all of these things and more. And that's why people like Mark Penn are working behind the scenes to undermine Kamala. Why do you think Biden put that Trump hat on day before yesterday? And when he put that Trump hat on, he had a whole conversation with the guy before he did it. And it was kind of funny and an interesting conversation. And he put the hat on because, like Mark Penn from Clinton, they don't want Kamala to win. Get it? All right. Let's go. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Wow, there's so many topics, Brian. It's Greg. By the way, we should call Richie, first of all, not the bus driver any longer. Call him Richie Suck Up. He's trying to give you credit for Patrick Davis.
Are you kidding? Yesterday, No, you cannot interrupt me. Yesterday, Richie called in, and I got so pissed at him, I hung up on him and basically told him to kiss off.
He felt he had to make up to you, so the next day, he's sucking up to you because he hurt your feelings maybe, and he needs to get right.
Please, whatever. Say what you want.
I called. No, it's a free country. You say what you want.
I don't know that. Excuse me. It's not free speech for you to say whatever you want to say. And how free is this country? How free is this country under this Democrat leadership?
Is there a freer country?
I don't know about that. I just saw it. I said I don't know. I just stop using my lines again like your last call. I saw a story yesterday. Excuse me. I saw a story yesterday of a woman who's going to prison for praying in front of an abortion clinic. That doesn't sound very free to me.
Hey, do you want to get to the racist friend of yours? You know who I'm talking about.
I don't have racist friends.
But you adore her. What's her name? Come on.
You say racist friends. I do not have racist friends. You say the name. Who are you talking about?
You adore Laura Loomer.
She's a racist?
You see her tweet recently?
What did she do or say that's racist?
She tweeted out that if Kamala gets elected, that the White House will be smelling like curry, and they'll be running it from a call center.
Okay, where's the racist part?
The racist part and stereotyping that all Indians are cooked with curry and that they work at call centers.
Okay, couple things. Let's talk about it. Number one, Kamala Harris, what she talks about more than anything. Excuse me, I'm speaking. Kamala Harris, what she talks. Listen, this is not a court of law where I'm on the witness stand and have to say yes or no. I am responding to what you brought up, but I'm going to respond to it in my way. Now, I'll do it with you or without you. I want to have a conversation with you. Okay, Kamala Harris, more than anything, talks about cooking. She's always talking about cooking. She talks about it constantly. She makes a big deal of her mother and her grandmother's Indian heritage. If you look at Kamala Harris's family photographs, they're all in traditional Indian clothing. It goes to reason that she cooks and enjoys traditional Indian food, and curry is a part of that. Okay? The second part about the call centers, my goodness, everybody knows about the Indian call centers. There's a guy I watch online. He does a whole channel on YouTube just about, I'm talking about, what's his name, Mike? You know what I'm talking about? All he does, something payback. Something payback is, I'll see if I can figure it out. All he does is call back telephone scammers from call centers that are trying to scam people out of money by claiming they're all in India. Okay, so what she said was not racist. There's some accuracy in that. All right, go ahead. He hung up. Well, I'm sorry. When I call you on your show, I'll have to respond in the way you want me to respond. But I'm going to have Greg hung up. I did not hang up on Greg. Please. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our first break of this hour. I want to talk to you, though, about Lighthouse Medical. I was talking to Steve yesterday. This just occurred to me yesterday. Okay? This just occurred to me yesterday, and it's because, I'm updating some of the commercials and found this commercial that Steve did for Lighthouse Medical when he first was rid of neuropathy. We did a commercial with him. It's running now, and we haven't run that commercial in a long time. And then I realized, wow, that was like 2 or 3 years ago. I'm not sure if it was 2 or 3 years, but it was minimum 2 years ago. Steve had every neuropathy symptom there is. He was bedbound. He was like Charlie Bucket's grandparents, bedbound with the neuropathy. It was so bad. I'm serious. He went to Lighthouse Medical. They rid him of his neuropathy. I think this is our third cruise since he was rid of his neuropathy symptoms by Lighthouse Medical. We got it so we could go on a cruise. This will be the third one since the treatment from them that rid him of his neuropathy symptoms. So not only does it work, it's kept him free of those symptoms for years now, which is really amazing. And it just occurred to me how long it's been since he had the treatment from Lighthouse Medical, and he doesn't have any of these symptoms. all these years later. Isn't that amazing? Give Lighthouse Medical a call. Their number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Dr. Appleton's number. Let me give you Lighthouse Medical's number. You can call Dr. Appleton, too, guys. He'll rid you of your pain. But if you want to call Lighthouse Medical, Lighthouse Medical's number is 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. It could be worse. I could have given out like my number or Steve's cell phone number. I gave out part of Steve's cell phone number once during a spot. Oh my goodness. But Lighthouse Medical, their number 754-222-6642 and online lighthousemedicalcenter.com. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be right back. Now watch, Greg's going to call back and say I hung up on him or something. Scammer Payback, that's the channel. That's right.
I love watching them. Like,
yeah, I watch him.
Not just these other ones too that I always watch, and they have like they hack into the security system, the camera system. So
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're sitting there. Your name's
Scammer Payback is the YouTube channel. Yeah.
Scammer Payback's hilarious.
Yeah.
I just love watching the callers freak out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you know, Scammer Payback.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. And Greg can't stand it. Like if it just drove him nuts. The very idea that Patrick Bet David and his team listened to me and were talking about something they heard from me. It drives Greg nuts. See, you know, I've been on the air so long that some listeners have been listening to me since I was like 19 years old. And I'm, how old am I now? I'm 53, right? So some of these people have been listening to me since I was 19, 20 years old. And so they followed me my whole life. And some of them, that they hated me then, they hate me now. It drives them nuts to see my progression and success in life. You know what I mean? Because it's weird. I gotta turn the air down. It is hot as HE double toothpicks. Does anyone know where I heard that from? HE double toothpicks. That George Washington miniseries by Barry Bostwick, I've watched that. I've seen that many times when it was new, but I watched both of them recently. There's George Washington, then there's George Washington 2 with Barry Bostwick, and the part 2 is when he, president and stuff. It's really good. It's well done. You know another one I watched on YouTube? America with Chris Christopherson, about the Soviet Union taking over the United States. And you want to talk about predictive programming. It is so accurate, except instead of the Soviet Union, the CCP did it. These Boeing guys got a lot of nerve going on strike when they got people stuck on the space station. It's not good optics. Any of you ever see World War III with Rock Hudson and David Soul and Kathy Lee Crosby? That was another one. I loved all those old TV movies. Most of those old cool TV movies are on YouTube. World War III, David Soul, Kathy Lee Crosby, and Rock Hudson plays the president. See, this is the commercial.
with you have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM.
I'm going to take a jab at Greg with what I told you guys a minute ago. All right, welcome back. If you're on hold, stand by. I just want to talk about Greg 2's call there. By the way, the reason we call him Greg 2 is there used to be this junkie that used to call named Greg. You guys remember him? Ugh, I shouldn't even reference it. He might call back. I don't know if I haven't heard from him in years, which is not long enough. You're not welcome, Greg 1. But anyway, the thing with Greg, okay, he may call back and say I hung up on him. I did not hang up on him. If I hang up on someone, I'll tell you. I mean, it's gonna, at some point I got a break and stuff, or the conversation's run its course. But this is what I was talking about this to the chat room on YouTube during the break. There are some listeners that have been listening to me since I was 19 or 20 years old, okay? And now I'm 53. It's crazy to say that, But when I was 19 or 20, I was a board op and I worked my way on the air, and a lot of these people didn't like me, and I probably shouldn't have been on the air back then. If those of you that listen, I did a lot of crazy things on the air back then that got me in trouble. But what's happened, a lot of these people that are around, that are still alive, that listened to me when I was 19 or 20, they didn't like me then, and they don't like me now. And when Richie called in, and just the very idea that Patrick Bet-David and his people listened to me, which, by the way, I've met Patrick Bet-David's, not met him, but I've met some of his people. I've got the cell phone number of his top guy over there. We met. I've never called or texted him, but we met and we had a good conversation. He gave me his number. I gave him mine. But I don't know that they listen or not. But with Greg, the very idea when Richie said that they might have listened, it just drove him nuts. And a lot of these people that hated me when I was 19 or 20, they really hate me now because I've had success in my life. And the thing about leftists, they don't like people's success. And there are a lot of guys out there that they only feel good if somebody else is bad, has got something bad going on. And I realized many years ago, I saw an interview with George Lucas, who's a real liberal piece of work. But he's married to this Obama lover, and oh my goodness, she's destroyed his life. And his Obama-loving wife convinced him to sell Star Wars to Disney, and he wrecked that. But anyway, and he regrets doing it. He went to film school with Spielberg, and I saw an interview with George Lucas, and Spielberg had fame and fortune first. And they asked him, well, when Jaws and all this came out, were you jealous? And George Lucas said, me feeling good does not depend on, or bad does not depend on someone else's success or failures. That's kind of pathetic, George Lucas said. And that's Greg too, and others out there that have been with me for a long time. All right, let's go to the phones. It is open phones on Friday. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
I had a miserable conversation with an ex-police officer from Broward County. This liberal guy says, we were talking about the debate, and so I said, so how do you think, how about the economy? Is it affecting you? Well, it really doesn't affect me that much, but people are making more money so they can afford it. I said, what about the people who are not making the money? You're saying that that's okay? So he changes the subject. He says, well, President Trump wouldn't even admit that he lost the election.
Mm. So your friend's a retired cop. What department did he work at?
Yeah, I have no idea. It's Broward County.
Well, when you're dealing with your friend who's a retired cop, most cops are liberals, okay? I know we support the police, and in Florida we have more conservative police officers than around the country because this is Florida. But most police officers, especially Broward County, are liberals. They're lifelong government workers. They're like trash men, right? Or like Richie, a bus driver. Richie is a rarity, a conservative bus driver. Okay, so he doesn't understand. Like when I was talking earlier, we did a community access TV show. And we did all the work. We had everybody working on the show for free. The Connecticut School of Broadcasting, which I don't even know if it still exists. Does it still exist? Okay. They had a campus. They had a campus in Davie, on University Drive in Davie, and across from the Scandinavian over there. And we did everything there for free, and all the people got to work on our TV show. It was like part of the curriculum. It was a good deal Steve made for us. And we had a friend who was a cop. And he brought over a friend of his that did all of the video and work for the Broward Sheriff's Office. And he was laughing at our equipment, right? We had to rewind videotapes. And he's like, we don't even use video. It's all digital. But when we do, I've got a machine. It rewinds it in 2 seconds. And I said, welcome to the private sector, man. You work for the government where budget's not an option. And you just spend all our tax money buying a $10,000 machine that rewinds your videotape in 2 seconds. This is the private sector. So your friend, who's a retired cop, is institutionalized like the guys he sent to prison and doesn't understand the real world. And he's sitting back on his fat pension. So what does he know about life? He doesn't know jack, your retired cop friend. And tell him what I said and give him my number. All right? I'll talk to him.
Believe me, I told him to try to call, but he'll never call. Anyway, the thing that really annoyed me is I said, well, that's because President Trump said that he didn't lose the election because it was.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're dealing with a liberal jerk. Hey, I got to run for the break. Thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. Back after this. Yeah, scammer payback. Yeah. Thank you, Corey. Scammer. I like Scammer Payback, but I used to watch him a long time ago before his channel really blew up, and he's gotten weird with the he does weird stuff with his hair and stuff now, Scammer Payback. Since he's gotten bigger.
I went to CSB 2016.
Yeah, they have a campus down the street. Yeah.
That's what I went to.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember. I think the guy's name is Jim York.
Mm-hmm.
He bought CSB, combined his broadcasting school with CSB.
Yeah.
So it's more there's I haven't been back there in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more than just what it used to be.
Yeah.
The TV and radio. Now it's like TV, radio, this, that. He added in a bunch of things. So it's still going.
There's one opening on the board. Okay. Steve's taking off today. He's texted me. Yeah. No, they have someone visiting. He's calling in. I emailed Mike. He was going to give me some questions or things to ask him about. He sent me a link to his website, but I need to know the specifics of when he's going to be there, and I'll look him up online and see. But I'd rather if he I may not use the things he gives me, but it'll give me a guide.
At least something that based off on.
Yeah, because I don't know anything about him.
That's what Mike was saying. Mike was like, I think he interviewed him yesterday and was like, I'll send Brian what I got.
Oh, the interview? If you sent me that, I'd listen to that too. But whatever he's got, yeah.
Yeah, talk to him when it gets in today. By the time
I emailed him this morning, but you'll probably get it. But
Yeah, but still, I want to make sure.
Yeah, I don't want to find out Monday and then wing it.
It's too late.
Yeah. I'm doing a promotion for a comedian that's playing at one of the radio station sponsors. They asked me if I'd interview him, and I don't know anything about him. So I asked them to send me the stuff to do it so I could do the promotion properly.
We have completed thousands of projects for the listeners, from repairs, single-family homes, large HOA complexes, and churches, with great success, and every one of those customers are like family. We have installed all kinds of roofs, from asphalt shingles, clay, and concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile, and flat roof system. So come on, and let our family take care of your family. Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602, or find us on the web at laportacontracting.com. The number again is 954.
We're never going to get confirmation of the audio earrings because she's never going to give us those earrings. And if they gave earrings, it may not be the one she wore. So we'll never be able to have proof of that. But we all know she had the earpiece in.
Brian Craig here. You asked Mike Lindell and he listened. Mike's offering the queen size MyPillow for just $19.98 with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. Plus, you could get the 6-piece MyPillow towel set for just $25. The bed sheets, they're $25 too. The new MyPillow mattress topper as low as $69.98. Go to MyPillow.com. Use our promo code KANE for these huge discounts. You can also order by phone. 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
Is low T keeping you on the bench? Become the superstar you dream of being at Game Day Men's Health with expert licensed staff trained with clinical research. Game Day Men's Health crafts a playbook specialized for you to raise your testosterone levels and reach peak performance. Rejuvenate, energize, and feel like a champion with increased muscle mass and libido. Call 561-355-5341 or online at GameDayMen'sHealth.com/Paul-B.
All right, we're coming back.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47.
All right. Coming up on 35 minutes after the hour, every line on the board is lit. I want to say one quick thing here about all this Haitian stuff. Someone called the other day and said Little Haiti's very dangerous. And I said, I don't know. I don't know. Well, I looked into it. I was thinking of making a YouTube video in Little Haiti because I've never been to Little Haiti. So I started doing some research online to find people that have done similar things. Just to, I realized I've been to Little Havana a bunch of times. I don't ever remember going to Little Haiti, so I don't know anything about it. And I couldn't find anybody white doing anything on it. And most everything I found was calling it the most dangerous place in Miami. So I don't know if I'm going to do it. But why is Little Haiti in Miami really dangerous? I don't know. But people are saying it is. And some people have cautioned me against walking the streets making a YouTube video being a cracker. All right, let's go to the phones. Every line on the board is lit. I'm taking the calls in the order in which they were received, just like those Indian call centers that Laura Loomer was tweeting about. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, you want me?
Sounds like you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, oh, great. Brian, hey, this is Taylor from Tennessee, and I wanted to talk about Diana, who called in from Springfield. And,
Chelsea, where's Chelsea?
No, Diana.
What is your name? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Taylor.
Taylor, where are you calling from? Oh, from Tennessee. Taylor from Tennessee. Okay, Taylor from Tennessee.
Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to talk about Diana from Springfield.
Okay.
Okay, and you were saying that she sounded like she was taken hostage or under hostage or... Well, what I think is going on, I think that when she was first talking about it, and the story was blowing up and getting bigger, then I think that, I do think she's scared now. I don't know that someone is threatening her or anything like that, but I think maybe...
You know, I've lived in a small town like Springfield, okay? When I was a kid, my grandparents retired to Florida from Ohio, and they moved to Okeechobee. And my dad lives in Okeechobee today, and I lived there when I was a kid for a couple years. It's a small town, and when I was there, it was a really small town. In fact, the town was so small that this was in the 80s. If you asked somebody their phone number, you just told the last 4 digits because everybody had the first 3 digits of the phone number. You know, 8245 was me, you know. I mean, it's crazy. And you could, and I did this. My dad said, try this. And I was like, no way, Dad. I mailed a letter with no address on it, just with my dad's name, and it came to the house, okay? That's how small it is. And you look at Springfield, okay? The city government that sat there and told those residents to kiss off, okay? Those people are elected. There are powers that be in that town that are making boatloads of money off the illegals that are there, okay? Making boatloads of money. They're getting all kinds of government money. And I feel personally, talking to her, that people have put the screws to those who were speaking out in Springfield because she was talking totally different to me today than 2-3 days ago. So what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, yeah, well, it could be possible that somebody from the government is scaring her. But no, she did want to make a point about the governor. So I hope she calls back in because I really would like to hear exactly what she wanted.
See, when the government comes in, I had a friend who's a newspaper guy here in South Florida, newspaper reporter, and he owns a bunch of rental properties that are all Section 8. And I call him the slumlord. And he says Section 8 is the best way if you are a landlord renting property. He says because the government just deposits the money in your bank account every month. You don't have to collect. You never have to evict. It's there every month. You know. So and the people. The reason there's so many Haitians in this tiny little town. I used to see this in Okeechobee. Things may be different now, but because it's bigger. But in places like Springfield, the local government, they are powerful. And the reason all the Haitians are there is because they've been bought off. They've been bought off, and the big money people in town have been bought off, and they're making boatloads of money taking care of all of these people. You know, like they were talking about how the kids speak Creole, and they've taken over the schools. You know how much money they're making just in the English of Speaker of Other Language program. Okay, so it is endless amount, millions upon millions. And I'm telling you that the people that called me the other day were from a local Facebook group or something, and word spread that they called, and they were speaking out, and they got to her. I'm telling you, somebody talked to her. I'm not saying she was threatened. She might have just been advised that she's not doing the right thing, but that's not the same. It's the same person, but she's singing a different tune today.
Yeah, she's scared. Now, she wanted to confirm your story without confirming it. Did you notice that?
I won't confirm or deny. Yeah.
I think she really wanted to confirm it, okay? But she for whatever reason...
Scared. She was scared.
Feel free. Yeah, she's scared.
I felt like you know what I felt like? I felt like I was in 7 Days of the Condor talking to her. If you guys know what that Robert Redford movie, you know... Okay, yeah. I mean, it was just very, very. When I lived in that small town, you didn't mess with the powers that be in that town. The hospital was owned by a family. Okay, you didn't mess with those people. They got the money. They got the government. They'll screw you. Okay, and that woman was afraid to tell me what she was saying the other day.
Now, I hope she does call back because she did want to make a point about the governor, and I'd like to hear exactly what she wanted to say.
Well, he's a snake. He's a snake. And, you know.
Something else I wanted to say about this whole Haitian thing. Okay, now, they do practice voodoo, and that's part of their religion. And I was looking it up this morning trying to find out as much as possible about it, and what I saw is that, according to different Google sources, 50 to 95% of Haitians practice voodoo, and a central part of that is animal sacrifice.
Well, I remember back in the 90s, in Miami, we've got a large Caribbean population. There was a lot of stuff going on in the 90s involving that Santeria and all that stuff. People from the Caribbean doing strange things with animals. Yeah, there's, and you got to understand, the Haitians that are coming here now, it's almost, you see it with Venezuela, okay? The Venezuelans that come here today are not the Venezuelans that came here years ago. The Venezuelans that are coming here today have lived under nothing but a dictatorship anarchy. They're not the same type of Venezuelans. It's a different mind. Same thing with Haiti. Haiti has been under a complete anarchy. That earthquake, I believe, was in 2010, right? So even before then it was bad. But since that earthquake in 2010, Haiti has been in anarchy. So the people that are coming here now have spent a decade and a half living in an anarchy. Remember, the guy that was running Haiti a couple weeks ago was a cannibal. Remember a couple months ago? They called him Barbecue. Remember the guy running Haiti? It was Barbecue. Because he was a cannibal, and he was running Haiti just a few months ago. Barbecue was his name. Okay, so these are the people that are coming out of Haiti. This is not a mark against good Haitian people, but the people that are coming out of Haiti now are living under an anarchy where they had this cannibal running the country recently. Barbecue, their prime minister. So but hey, listen, I appreciate the call from Tennessee. I'm going to take this break on time, guys. I'm so behind on our break schedule that I'm getting in the traffic jam, and there's a full board of calls. The calls are so busy, we're having a hard time getting a line out to call Attorney Barry Siegel. The lines are so busy because they're ringing as fast as we clear a line. So if you're on hold, stand by. I'm just vamping for a minute so Mike can get a line out. But our number, 1-888-465-2631. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Callers on hold, stand by. Were you able to get a line out? Okay, he got a line out. Okay, see, we're in the. I could have taken a call and vamped with that with all this, but what the heck? Let me take one while we're getting Barry online. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Well, this is Rob from Pennsylvania. Call.
Hey, Pennsylvania, what's up?
Hey, I wanted to call, and I just want to know if it's okay to have a small touch on religion whenever I explain to you my thoughts.
Okay, well, I don't know what that means, but
okay, so I'm sitting here thinking about this next election, and we got Trump, and we have Kamala.
Kamala, yes, Willie Brown's girlfriend.
Yeah, so who's going to win this?
Trump.
Lot on what's happening in the world right now. So right now at the end times, everybody's supposed to hate the oh my gosh, I forget their names. Jerusalem, Israel. That is happening under Biden. So they say during the end times you'll have 7 years of peace. So
you think we're in the end times. Now listen, I don't know my Bible like I should. Okay, my wife tells me this all the time. So I don't get into Bible talk because I am Christian, I'm Catholic, I'm very religious, but I don't read the Bible like I should, and I don't know a chapter and verse. But I do know this about the end times. It says in the Bible that we will not know when the end times are here. They're not for us to know, and we won't know them. So a lot of people say it's the end times. The Bible says we won't know. So, anyway, I appreciate the call. And Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group on the line. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Hey, Brian, good morning. How are you?
Great. What do you have for us today?
Today I'm talking about updating and the importance of updating. We update so many things in our lives. I mean, we have to update our, do our taxes every year. We have to do our, review our financial portfolios. We have to have our life insurance reviewed. All of these kinds of things and much, much more. But when it comes to our estate plans, so many things can change from the time that you originally executed your documents. So, for example, you may have named somebody to act as a fiduciary for you, like your successor trustee, your personal representative of your will, power of attorney, healthcare decisions, and the person or the people that you have elected or nominated to be in those positions may not be the right people anymore. Maybe they moved away, maybe they passed away, maybe somebody else is a better choice at this point. Maybe somebody who was too young or not responsible enough years ago is now responsible and old enough to do that. Perhaps your wishes for beneficiaries, people who are going to receive the inheritance from your estate, have changed. Maybe not the people, but maybe the percentages. Of course, your circumstances may have changed. For example, if you came from another state, now you're a Florida resident, and your old estate plan was done in another state. Maybe you got divorced, maybe you got married, maybe you had children, maybe you had grandchildren. God forbid someone passed away. All of those kinds of things. And then financially things can change, and you need to make sure things are up to date with your current financial situation, what your assets are, making sure all your assets are properly funded into the trust. And then certainly you need to make sure that your estate plan is up to date legally, because from time to time, not often, but from time to time, laws could change. And of course, we keep up to speed on that. And that's what we do at the Siegel Law Group. And because we do a 3-year review every 3 years, we're here to make sure that your estate plan works for you when you need it to work. When do you need it to work? If there's a time of incapacity or disability, or upon your passing.
Yeah, that's right. And not only does Attorney Barry Siegel recommend a review of your documents every 3 years, the Siegel Law Group will do that at no charge, even if your trust or your will was done by another attorney, another law firm. They'll review that as well at no charge if you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio. Okay, the number is toll-free, 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782. That's 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, have a great weekend. We'll talk next week. Okay, we're back, and trying to get us back on schedule, guys. Phone's very busy, 1-888-465-2631. It is open phones today, and I brought up a lot of things, but you are not required nor expected to comment on anything I've said, because it is open phones. Today, the show prep is up to you guys. All right, back to the phones we go. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jay from Jerry.
Oh, hey, Jay.
Okay, let me see if you're going to let me get this out. Okay, the other day when I talked to you, you informed me of the situation of the eating of the animals, that situation where Trump made a fool of himself on the thing there. Now, you played me a video of the situation of the cat.
Yes.
And I see you played it again today. It's one thing about that video. You don't play the whole thing.
I played the whole thing that's been made available. I played the whole thing. I played today. Slow down. First off, what was available 2 days ago when we talked, or 3 days ago, the whole thing wasn't available, just a clip. I played that. Today, I played the entire part that's made available. It's in the Daily Mail, and I played it from their website. The body cam may be the cop's whole 8-hour shift. You're correct. I haven't played that, but I played the entire video that is available to the public as of now.
Okay, can I finish? Now, the other day when you played it, you kind of stunned me with it. So you heard me say, let me look into that. I looked into it the other day, not today. And I played the whole video. The woman that ate the cat lived in that complex. Before she ate the cat, she ate a spider. She was on drugs. She was drunk.
Oh, really? 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 You've tested her?
You didn't play the whole video.
You tested her for drugs?
No, because the whole video, they're telling that she started at
Okay. So what?
the house.
So what?
Started in her house.
So what?
Then she came outside and started eating the
So what?
drugs.
What?
Even Haitian.
So what point are you trying to make?
Not Haitian. They're not eating the...
First off, it is number one. Excuse me.
On drugs.
Excuse me. I played the whole video that is publicly available. That's all I got.
Fine.
So calm down. All right, you're getting hysterical. This guy, he's so he's so desperate to have a positive thing happen in his life. He's grabbing on to some stupidity here. First off,
play the whole video.
I have played all that has been made available to me.
Online, it shows.
Okay, whatever. Excuse me, I have not seen any reporting that she's not Haitian, and it doesn't matter that she was on drugs or not. This is what you know. This is what you know. She's black, so you're going to back her. You know, Steve and I have mentioned this radio station before. There used to be a radio, it doesn't exist anymore. There used to be a radio station that we called it the Haitian station, okay, the Haitian station. And I had a buddy that worked at the Haitian station, and no, it was a Haitian formatted station here in South Florida, okay? I'm a cracker. I don't know about the station, but it was. Just calm down. I'm gonna. Oh, you're gonna let me finish. Oh well, thank you. I appreciate it. So anyway, it was on the Haitian station. They had it was a station that catered their programming to the Haitian community. And Steve and I used to go over there as they had a talk show on in the middle of the day, and Steve and I used to guest on the show all the time, and it was a lot of fun. And there was a school shooting, right? This was years ago. I can't remember where it was. It was not in Florida, but it was very high profile because the shooter was either in kindergarten or first grade, and he shot and killed a girl in his class. It was either kindergarten or first grade. And Steve and I knew something about this story that they didn't know. It had just broken. And we were listening to the Haitian station, okay, and they were talking about charging this 6-year-old boy with first-degree premeditated murder. And they had this whole dialogue going between them with calls talking about even though he's 6 years old, he knew what he was doing. This is premeditated. He should be tried as an adult. And Steve and I are in our cars driving there, and someone called in and they stole our thunder that we were going to hit him with. They told him they knew that the victim, because she had been identified, was black. They didn't identify the shooter because he's a 6-year-old minor, but they identified the girl. She was black, and they were talking about all this premeditated murder. A guy calls in and told them that the shooter was black, and then all of a sudden they were defending him. Well, you know, at 6 years old, trying as an adult is pretty serious. You know, we need to look at his parents and grandparents. Where did he get the guy? All of a sudden they were defending him. So that's what you're doing with the cat eater of Canton, Ohio. You know, she's black, you're black, and you're just going to defend her. I mean, she had fur on her mouth.
To that video on Wednesday.
Okay.
The whole video is online Wednesday. That's not a Haitian girl. She's high on drugs. She wasn't eating.
So Haitians don't do drugs?
Haitians.
I don't know.
Haitian. She lives there. American.
I don't know that.
Says it.
Not the story I have.
Look at.
So what? It's still a woman in Ohio that ate a damn cat.
Are telling her what she did, and they're telling the police.
So what's your point? She still ate someone's pet.
Trump made a fool of himself.
Not at all. Not at all. I had people call me on the air earlier this week in Ohio that told me it's happening. Now someone's got to them and they backtracked it, but they told me that 2-3 days ago. Go back and listen to the show.
I didn't. You keep cutting. You take the thing and cut it off. So
You heard everything I said.
You do that. When you want me to stop speaking, you cut it.
I'm tired of your victim crap. I give you lots of airtime. I give you.
That you're lying about the victim.
I am not lying. A lot of time. Jay, slow down. Okay? It's not. You're just so stupid. You're just so. Stop talking, or I will have to cut you off. This is what you don't understand. Okay? Your mind is too clouded with hate to think logically. The stories that we're talking about are news stories, right? News, N-E-W-S, with an emphasis on new. When there are news stories, especially breaking news, which we've been discussing all week, there are developments that come out during the course of the story over hours, days, weeks, or even months. So here we are. This story was, I guess it was either Tuesday or Wednesday. It's now Friday. Shush your mouth and let me finish, okay? You can bark at me so you can tell your friends you got to bark and yell at a white guy and feel good for the weekend, okay? But I'm going to finish my thought with or without you, okay? Breaking news is happening, developing news has happened, and 3 or 4 days later, new information come out about a story that was breaking 3 or 4 days ago. It's not lying. We're getting more information and perspective. Okay?
Video is online.
First off, I can't play hours of video on the air. I have played what is available to me. There's nothing.
If I found it after you told me, then how come I?
Well, what have I left out of the video? What is left out that I've not shared?
That she's an American drug addict who took too much drugs and started eating a cat and ate a spider. That she's not Asian, and they.
Well, the cat was probably somebody's pet.
Somebody's pet.
It's a pet.
A bunch of Haitians living in a park eating people. That lunatic said.
What lunatic? Do you understand the concept? Yeah. What's wrong as a liberal? What's wrong if two men love one another in a sexual way? Is that something to be ashamed of? Do you want people to? Okay. I just want to be sure you're not anti-gay.
Man.
Because he's going to save our country from people like you. The people that you are supporting think like you. And
you were just listen to this. You just talked about a story about the Haitians.
I can't take your word for squat. You're not a credible person. Listen, we're out of time. We're going to take our break for the top. Oh my goodness. But he agrees they're eating cats in Ohio. He's just trying to make it okay. We'll be right back.
Steve Kane Show. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation.
tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours at one of those big labs. That's why I do any lab test now in Boca and any lab test now at Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled and professional, and their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now at Boca and any lab test now at Coral Springs. Any lab test now at Boca is in the Sandalwood Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State Road 7 or 41. Any lab test now at Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Bramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call any lab test now at Boca at 561-237-5009. Any lab test now at Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. Don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
Since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Okay, we have a full board of calls, but I do want to get some details out on what Jay from Jersey said, okay? Pulled up this story in the Daily Mail today. And the Daily Mail is liberal, once you guys understand, but this is their story. And this is interesting because it fits into what happened on the show earlier this week with the residents from Springfield. And I'll tell you this, that lady that called from Springfield today was talking in a much different way than earlier this week. Someone has got, it's a small town, they know who everybody is. This is like the town in Footloose, okay? Springfield. This is in the Daily Mail. The first claims about pets being eaten in Springfield were raised at a city commission meeting on July 30th. These are the videos that came out the other day, right? They started going viral online from that commission meeting. Furious locals used the commission meeting to voice their feelings about the 15,000 Haitians who have arrived on temporary protected status since 2020. I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something, one angry resident told the meeting, the commissioners. Quote, these Haitians are running into trash cans, running into buildings, they're flipping cars in the middle of the street. They're in the park, grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them. They're eating them. One anonymous, now this is the next part. Listen to this. See, I tell you, I put the pieces together in the first hour on the program. One anonymous poster to a Springfield resident's Facebook group claimed that her neighbor's daughter's friend had lost her cat. One day she came home from work. As soon as she stepped out of her car, looked towards a neighbor's house where Haitians live, and saw her cat hanging from a branch, like you do a deer for butchering, and they were carving it up to eat, she explained. That's the woman that called me. Was that Wednesday's show? It was Wednesday's show. That Facebook poster called me on the air Wednesday and told me that exact story, almost word for word. Didn't I tell you? The reason I got so many calls from Springfield, we have one or two people that listen from Springfield, and then they went on a Facebook group or something, or Reddit group. I said this in the first hour, and got their friends to call in from Springfield. That's what happened. And that's this anonymous poster is the woman that I talked to on Wednesday's show, one of the callers. Police and city officials of the town have been insisting there's been no credible reports of migrants harming pets. Rumors were amplified by J.D. Vance. He said in Springfield, J.D. Vance before the president weighed in on it and that stuff. Okay, because they commented on it. We don't know, but we do know what was being reported. This was being reported. It came out of the commission meeting. And I don't buy that it's not happening. There's too much, and I'll tell you what really makes me think it is happening. And I did you guys that don't follow me on YouTube, you should. Brian Craig Show on YouTube. I do shows all the time. I did another one this morning before the show, yesterday afternoon, in the evenings, all time, over the weekends. I'm always doing live streams talking about what's going on. And I talked about this yesterday because it was on my mind. And I talked about it in the first hour, but I didn't share this part that I shared on my YouTube video yesterday afternoon. When I saw the governor of Ohio with Martha McCallum yesterday, she did not ask him about the pets getting eaten, and he didn't comment on it. He talked about traffic problems, and he's sending the State Highway Patrol there to handle the traffic overflow and traffic issues. They didn't talk about the pets, not the ducks, not dogs, not cats. And to me, that was very strange because I was waiting for that interview to come on for about 3/4 of an hour because they were promoting it, that it was coming on. And I thought, oh, and I know this guy's, I've been told he's a rhino DeWine. I haven't followed him too closely. I know Martha McCallum hates Trump. She always has. And then he took a jab at her a couple days ago. So she's, on a vendetta. And what I figured is they would bring up the cats and the ducks and the dogs and laugh and make fun of Trump. And they didn't even reference it. And the fact that they didn't reference it, to me, is a confirmation that it's true. Or they would reference it and laugh and ridicule President Trump, and they didn't. To me, that's a confirmation that there's something there. Now, this is a small town, and nothing could convince me that caller in the first hour was not talked to by someone. That was a hostage call. So what the true story is at this point, we do not know, and we may never know. You get to these small towns, and 58,000 is a small town, guys. It's a small town. You get to it's not like in Florida. Here in South Florida, we're one big metropolis. We got a lot of small towns with small populations, but they're all connected. Okay? So we live in a metropolis. From Miami to West Palm Beach is a metropolis. After West Palm Beach, you got a little bit of a break to get up to Martin County. So, there might be I don't know how many people are in Margate or Tamarack, but they're surrounded by Coral Spring, understand what I mean? It's not that way here, okay? You're talking about a town of 58,000. That's a small town. And the people that live in those towns, here's the thing about Ohio. I know so many people down here from Ohio that have moved down here, not just my family, but many others. My in-laws are from Ohio, one set of in-laws. Everyone's divorced and remarried in my family on both sides all over the place, so I got two sets of everything, okay? But my in-laws, they're both from Ohio, and they didn't know each other. They met in Florida. And I have family in Ohio still I talk to. People don't move to Ohio. They move away from Ohio, unless you're Haitian and you're getting relocated or illegal. But what I'm talking about is Americans don't move to Ohio. People move away from Ohio. There's some rare exceptions, but it just doesn't happen, okay? So when you're in a town like Springfield, everyone knows everyone. And quite frankly, I am shocked at the coverage I'm seeing out of there. Fox News has a reporter on the street. I didn't see him talk to any of these people like I'm talking to. They're talking to government officials. They're not talking to residents. And I think the residents are scared up there. I think there's a lot of pressure. Because, you know what? There's a spotlight put on that town now. And this governor up there is a weirdo. He's got a fetish for Haitians. When I saw, he's got, apparently, I don't know too much about DeWine. His daughter has passed away. I feel very sorry for him. I'm a father, and I don't want to make light of that, and I never would. But he has some type of Haitian charity named after his daughter who's passed. So he's got a special place in his heart for the Haitians. And, you know, after the earthquake, the Clintons went down there and raped and pillaged that country, by the way. Talk to Peter Schweitzer about what the Clintons did in Haiti. Oh, my goodness. Devastated that country. But he's got a special thing for the Haitians, DeWine. Okay? But there is pressure being put on the people in that town because there's a lot of corruption going on there from the illegals that are being moved there. And they got corrupt officials that are making boatloads of money, life-changing money that they'll probably retire on from this. And what they don't like is a spotlight on it. And when you're in a small town and the powers that be are pissed, it's, you know what they don't have in small towns? Jobs. You got to know someone to get a job. Everybody knows your business. You go to the grocery store, you know everybody. You go to the drugstore, the customers know what your prescriptions are. Okay? It's that kind of town. So something's going on there where the people are scared to talk now. That's it. They're scared to talk. Now, I'm not saying they're being threatened, but something's happened with the residents of Springfield. Now, I'm not talking about the Haiti. I'm talking about the Americans. All right. Every line on the board is lit. I'll go right back to the phones after the break. I won't blather on anymore, but I want to talk to you about the free doorbell camera offer from Sloman's. This is amazing. You know, the Sloman's doorbell camera connects directly to your cell phone. You get a notification when there's activity at your front door that you can look at no matter where you are in the world. Work, in your car, at a red light, or traveling internationally. It's amazing. And you can get a doorbell camera for free from Sloman's with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Sloman's is going to give you a free, customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. They're going to give you an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts. The contacts are for the doors and the windows, a lifetime warranty, a backup battery, and a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Give them a call. Toll free. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. That's 1-833-283-5050. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sideline. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hey, it's Scott with a quick reminder that the greatest hits of the 60s and 70s are back on the radio right after 10 a.m. this morning. Check it out on South Florida's True Oldies channel right here.
Attention seniors, are you not happy with your current Medicare plan? If not, give Debbie at I Will Advisors a call. 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080. There are 5-star rated plans that you can enroll in the middle of the year. That's right. You don't have to wait for open enrollment. Debbie and her family have been taking care of Steve Kane Show listeners since 1993. Debbie even handles Steve Kane's Medicare. So if you're not happy with your current Medicare plan, give Debbie a call right now and go over the options. 954-753-8080. Debbie can help you no matter where you're located in the state of Florida. 954-753-8080. And online, IWillAdvisors.com.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious, crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside. Everything homemade, nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
This is Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com. We're back. Dog days of summer are upon us. Your AC is struggling, running constantly, trying to hold the temperature, maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill has gone up, even double. Radiant Barrier is the cure. Stop the heat gain, lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees. days of summer sale. Save 50% on radiant barrier and insulation, insulation removal, rat proofing. We even do AC ducts in the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500 off radiant barrier over 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet, plus a 30% federal tax credit. So call now, 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner, Scott. That's 954-939-1500 or cutmykilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks. Easier than ordering a pizza.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world.
All righty, we are back. All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. How are you?
All right.
This is Charlie. I don't know if you remember me, the guy from Haiti. And I've been listening to Rush Limbaugh since, I would say probably before 2005. I listened to you when I moved to Florida in 2005. So I'm a long-time listener. I think I called once. Anyway, what I wanted to say is, I went to Boston and different places. I went into a lot of Haitians who are supporting. So the word is getting out there in the Haitian community. Keep doing the work you are doing because of so much misinformation going around. Every now and then we will run into little controversies, but as time goes by, the truth will come out.
All right, now let me slow down, because before you go on, because I'm glad you have called, because you're the first Haitian that we've heard from all week, and I've been putting a call out for Haitians to call in, and I know the phones have been busy, maybe hard for people to get through, but I'm shocked that here in South Florida we haven't been hearing from Haitians throughout the week. You've heard what's going on with these stories out of Ohio, okay, with the illegals that are now, they do have legal status now because the Biden regime gave it to them. What are I don't have to repeat the story. You know the stories. What are your thoughts?
Okay. What happened is there are parts companies. There's a big part company where they're making parts, auto parts.
Yeah.
So when the Biden administration sent these Haitians down there, they are working in these places, and they are getting good paying position. So what happened is, what they have done is, when they flooded the place with the Haitians, the landlord who had these people from Section 8 find these Haitians can pay more money. So they were evicting a lot of these Section 8 people to have these Haitians come in these apartments. Now, what the government should have done is help the other people who are in Section 8 to avoid any conflict and crisis. So they did not. They just bring these Haitians down there. And then another thing they think that they should not have done is some of these Haitians, I would say many of these Haitians did not speak English. They give them a driving license, okay? And then a lot of, many of them were, knowing the roads very well, and caused accident that caused the insurance policy of that area to go up. So the way they bought these people there, they should have a procedure to avoid any kind of conflict. They know they were able to do that.
Yeah, okay, now I know we're talking about that. We're talking about the driving and there's problems, but the story about the ducks and the cats, what are your thoughts on all of that?
Okay, about that, being Haitian, I know in Haiti, Haitians do not eat cats. So that story is very strange to me. Now, it's possible that somebody, he wasn't drunk and did something like that. But normally, I know in our culture, we do not eat cat. We don't do that. As far as the birds is concerned, people saying they see people with birds. Since I'm not over there, I do not know. Not comment on that. Okay? But normally, I know that Haitians do not eat.
Well, I would hope normally no one eats cats. I hope that's true, at least everybody in this country. But so that's part of, this is the thing. This is a very interesting thing that's going on here. At this point, the pet thing, we really don't know, right? There's been conflicting reports. There were people that talked about it in the council meeting and such, okay? And then there was this Facebook group. We do know this, okay? And this is really an important thing. And I'm going to say some things here that I think are important about this issue. And I'm glad you've called in as a Haitian American to talk about it. There's no doubt the biggest problem in this country that voters are talking about next to inflation is that we're being overrun by illegals from countries all over the world, which includes Haiti. And that this town has been overrun, and that migrant crime is way up, and the crime rates are up in this country because of the migrants that are coming here. Okay, and this is a fact, and I'm sure you agree with that caller. So it is entirely possible. And I'm not saying this is true, but I'm saying this is very possible. It is a fact that Springfield, Ohio, like many communities around the country, has been overrun by illegals. We're seeing stories of Venezuelan gangs, too, in different cities. It is very possible that someone planted this eating of the pet story out there to get people talking about it, to discount the overall problem of the border invasion. That is entirely possible. Now, if that's the case, Trump didn't do anything wrong. These are stories that have been reported widely all week long. No one has gone out to debunk them. Some people have said they've been debunked without debunking them. This is the first conversation that we've had that I've heard with anyone in talking to a Haitian American about it. So this very well could have been a story to on the eve of the debate to discount the problem we're having with the migrants, because this story has hijacked the news cycle for the last 3 or 4 days. So, but I think we can agree that Springfield, Ohio, they've taken 20,000 plus illegals from Haiti, given them legal status, and sent them to a town that's a very small town, and the town's infrastructure is on the verge of collapse. And it also could be that people in the town who were desperate for help started saying things to try to get attention on the plight of the town, and things have gotten a little out of control with this cat story. That's a possibility too.
I agree.
Now, as a Haitian, how do you feel about Trump having referenced it in the debate?
I think I would hope that the Trump administration, the Trump campaign would have people to investigate information just to make sure that stories are not planted just to discredit his campaign.
This is something that's often done by Democrats. I've seen it happen before, and I don't want, by the way, don't any of you think I'm walking back anything, because I'm not. But we have a problem in this country in that our press don't investigate anything. And even when they send reporters to Springfield, Ohio, all they do is stand in the street and say, I'm in Springfield, and they don't do any reporting and investigating even though they're there. Okay? So that's how these things have a snowball effect.
One more thing I wanted to kind of clarify. That Haitian guy, Barbecue, he used to be a good policeman in Haiti. What happened is the American embassy in Haiti is trying to control, get involved in causing chaos in the government in Haiti, because something that the U.S. media does not talk about, we have a lot of oil, gas, we have gold.
That's right.
Well, we have the rare that is the countries need to make cell phone.
Yeah, that's why the Clintons went there after the earthquake, and took over Haiti and looted Haiti of the gold and other resources. Absolutely.
So the Americans the American embassy, each time you see there are a lot of weapons coming at the airport, it goes right in the American embassy base somewhere. And I know people in Haiti who are in the police department who said that they know that a lot of these gangs are receiving weapons and ammunition and things funneled through the American embassy.
Yeah, through the American embassy arming people. Listen, I got to run for the break. I'm late for the break, but I appreciate your call, and you've added to the conversation. And call in next week as this stuff develops, all right? You're welcome. And tell your Asian friends to call in, too. All right, take care. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. You're gonna really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the All Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Marone from the All Year Cooling Weather Center. Today is Friday, September 13th, 2024, and right now it's 78 degrees outside. As we go throughout the day, though, temperatures are going to reach as high as 91 degrees with a heat advisory in effect until 6 p.m. tonight. So make sure you stay cool, stay hydrated, and have a wonderful, safe start to your weekend.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Southbound 95 slowdowns from Lantana past Boynton Beach Boulevard. Turnpike northbound delays past Lake Worth Road. Heads up for a crash on West Palm Kirk Road and Happiness Street. This traffic update is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business needs, from quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options. Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. That's traffic. I'm Dory Don.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Paddock Restaurant's comedy and dinner show season is here. Get your tickets now for comedians Goomba Johnny Saturday, September 28th, and Jimmy Fallon November 15th and 16th. And don't miss 3-course dinner shows with the Pure Zeppelin Experience October 11th, Let It Be November 8th, Penny Nicks November 22nd, and more. The Paddock is also your best bet for Oak TV action and football Sundays with over 140 HD TVs and 3 big screens. For more information, go to pbkennelclub.com.
Now, guys, don't forget, order your copy of Robert Allen Miltenberg's book, The Sound of Light. There's a link in the description of the video. He's a regular YouTube watcher. This is his 3rd book I've promoted, so when you go there, you can see his other books as well. And I know a lot of you have ordered this book, because I've heard from some of you, and some of you have actually left some great reviews of the book and have enjoyed it. So and it's free on Kindle Unlimited, but it's also available in paperback and regular Kindle. Just search Robert Allen Miltenberg, The Sound of Light on Amazon. It'll come right up, but there's a direct link in the description of the video. All right, guys? So check it out.
When you're in retirement or looking to retire, I want you to give local expert Joe Thomas a call. Here's the number, 561-743-0999. Or, even simpler, you can go to jupiterjoe.com. Mention my name, John Tesh. You'll receive a free copy of Joe's book, Retirement Know-It-All. Great book. Call 561-743-0999. Or remember, go to
JupiterJoe.com. That's JupiterJoe.com.
Brian Craig here. If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association and your roof is old or compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. With a AAA credit rating and bonded up to $10 million, Laporta Contracting doesn't need a large deposit like those other contractors do. Typical deposits other contractors want are 1/3 of the contract. If your job is $30,000, that's a $10,000 deposit. If your job is $300,000, that's $100,000. What are they doing with your money? Typically, it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get a permit, and HOAs, much longer. If they need money for the materials, they don't have credit with the suppliers, and that spells bad news for the homeowner or HOA. Tom Laporta is honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and he'll never sell you a roof you don't need. Laporta Contracting has been in the roofing and contracting business since 1988, and his services cover the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. Tom Laporta can handle any type of roofing job too: residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now on his cell phone, 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, and online, LaportaContracting.com.
The Greater South Florida Chamber of Commerce has fantastic free-to-attend events all year long. Join us for their next great expo in your area.
On the way is the Greater South Florida Chamber's Golf Tournament, Business Expo, and Health Fair. Jacaranda Golf Club in Plantation. It's a day filled with networking, golfing, and health tips. Whether you're a seasoned golfer or just starting out, this event is perfect for you. Thursday, September 19th from 11 to 5 at Jacaranda Golf Club in Plantation.
Learn more and see a full list of events at GreaterSouthFloridaChamber.com.
Men, just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. At the Bio Station of West Delray, Dr. Mitch Matez, an expert in hormone replacement therapy, is here to help you reclaim your youth. Hormone replacement therapy is all natural and can restore your hormones to where they were in your 20s. You'll feel younger, have more energy, and even get your sex drive back. And for women, hormone replacement pellet therapy can completely stop and reverse the signs and symptoms of menopause. No more mood swings, better sleep, and no more night sweats. Call Dr. Matez for a free consultation today at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show.
All right, all of our lines are lit. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Mark. Are you?
I am Mark.
Oh, hey. You know, I really love your show.
I hear a butt
you
coming.
got to keep that last guy off talking about the cats, the black guy. The guys like that ruin your show.
Which one? Which one are you talking about? Jay from Jersey?
I guess it was about an hour ago.
Oh, I don't know. You know, I don't agree with that. I mean, I don't want to hear from people that just agree with me. I think we need to hear from people that disagree. We don't want to be like the left and silence dissent.
Yeah, but he was so obnoxious. He's pretty emotional.
All liberals are obnoxious and emotional. That's why they're liberals.
Well, Kat Timp isn't obnoxious, and she's a liberal. Anyway, hey, I got a couple things I wanted to mention. You always talk about how Americans aren't stupid. Well, after this debate, I can't see how Kamala can be that freaking, even with Trump. I mean, it's just like
the polls you're talking about on Fox are fake. Okay, I've been listening to this. All of a sudden, he says he wouldn't do a debate with Martha McCallum and Brett Baer, and all I'm hearing are all the swing states are going back to Kamala. The polls, in fact, are in Trump's favor. I just haven't gone over them today, and I got a bunch of them.
Okay, well, I saw, who was it, Trace Gallagher after
Fox News, yes.
And they showed her walking into one of her rallies, and everybody's just dead quiet. There's not a lot of people that she bussed in people.
She bussed in people. That was yesterday. Yeah, she bussed them in. Yeah.
I mean,
right. Like here, the latest poly market in Pennsylvania is 52 to 48 Trump. That's the poly market. So that's a 4-point lead in the poly market in Pennsylvania, a swing state. Michigan, insider polling in Michigan, 49-48 Trump. He's ahead in Michigan, which they've been giving to Kamala. There's...
Hey, Americans must be stupid because a vote for Kamala is a vote for, communism, babe.
A vote, listen, every Democrat since Woodrow Wilson has been a communist.
Wow.
Okay, so I keep telling this to people. There's a lot of our MAGA brothers and sisters have this idea that if there's still Democrats out there, somehow we're losing. Every presidential election is decided by a couple percentage points. 2000 was decided by 350 votes in Florida, right? I mean, so that's just the way it is. The idea that we don't have 60% of the American people thinking clearly, that's an impossible standard.
Trump's the first businessman we've had. He's not a politician, but I mean, his record was great, and
a lot of Republicans have had great records.
It's not news anymore. It's just makeup.
It's always been that way. Look at Ronald Reagan. I mean, Ronald Reagan and Richard Nixon both won 49 states in their re-elections. Right? But you wouldn't even know that if you follow things. I mean, they're very, they were attacked nonstop.
I didn't really start following things until
Trump
was running.
Well, that's why, because you don't, yeah, that's right, because you're new, you don't have the perspective, but it is always this way. A landslide victory would be a victory by 1.5 points. It's just the way it is.
It's too scary. I mean, you'd think 75% of the nation would just vote for Trump because
75%. Who has ever gotten 75% of the vote?
Nobody, but it would.
I mean, George Washington didn't even get that.
I mean, you would think with what's going
you would think.
This country.
No.
People would have enough.
Well, see, this is the problem. This is the problem. It's never going to be that way. So that's the way. It's always going to be almost 50-50. That's just the nature of it.
Well, I'm kind of worried about the voting intent.
You're just a depressive. Are you in therapy? Do you take Prozac? Yeah. I mean, you are a guy. Let me tell. This is really. I'm not kidding. You need therapy. No. You need to go to therapy. You call in with one thing. 75% of people aren't with Trump. I talk to you about it. I wake you up on that, and then you move on to something else to be depressed about. My goodness. I mean, you need to be in therapy.
I'm not looking at positives in this.
You don't see positive. Tell me some positives in life.
Oh, in my life, that's great.
No, give me some positives in our society, in our country.
Well,
exactly. All right. You can't even think of anything. I mean, my goodness. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh.
Good morning, Brian. Al.
Ugh.
Yeah. First of all, there's a radio station that's Haitian-owned that you're fully aware of, WS, down in Miami Beach.
I didn't say there are no longer Haitian stations. I was talking about a particular one that we used to go on all the time. It was Haitian and Jamaican programming, but mostly Haitian.
And also there's 386...
So what? What point are you trying to make, Al? Why are you calling me? You've been on hold for like half an hour.
No, that's as long as I've held it for... Yes, you're right about that. You playing a junkie eating a cat on the radio is...
Really, you think I...
You know it. And you...
What's fake about it? Did the woman not eat a cat in Ohio?
Drug addicts do all kinds of crazy things. You're showing a drug addict who's not a Haitian. You've already been called out on that.
So what? So you're telling me if that's true, which is not big. Oh, slow down. We're talking about. You see, you guys just don't understand. You guys should. The left lies so much they don't understand what lying is. Okay, they're. Excuse me. Oh, my goodness. You just like to say his name, even though that's his real name and we don't have to dump it. This is the thing. I don't even know who that is. I just know it's a name that you like to say. But here's the thing. Oh, the National Enquirer guy. Oh, okay, that guy. I forgot who he was. Okay, this is what I told the caller earlier, and I'm going to tell this to you. And you heard the caller earlier, and you're pretending to be stupid. We talk about the news. Sometimes we talk about breaking news. When we're talking about news stories, especially breaking news stories, the further out from the story breaking, more information comes in to update the story with. So what you are doing, as Jay from Jersey is doing, is you're going to what we now may know on Friday and saying, because I didn't share this information before it was known on Tuesday or Wednesday, that I was lying that I was lying on Tuesday or Wednesday. I was not lying on Tuesday or Wednesday. Excuse me, I'm speaking. I was talking about the story based on the facts that were available at that time. So as we get further down the week, more information comes out. I'm not censoring. I'm not editing. I'm not lying. I'm talking about breaking news that develops as the show goes on. Do you understand the difference?
As a fellow news junkie, okay, I saw the people.
I will agree with you. I'll agree with you on the junkie part, okay? Now, I want to take a moment to talk about Jupiter. I mean, how many times do I have to explain? My goodness, they're so desperate to have something on me. You got nothing. I want to talk about Jupiter Joe Thomas. You know, Joe's going to be in studio next week, and I'm always excited to talk about him because I always learn stuff. You know, when it comes to money, I work very hard for the money I have, and I certainly don't. I don't go to casinos. We go on our cruises. I don't gamble. My daughter likes to go to the casino. I don't even give her $1 to gamble. I don't like gambling, and to me, the stock market's gambling. I don't like gambling. You want to call Joe Thomas, talk to him about annuities. You know, with annuities, your money is protected from stock market losses. The ups and downs of the market, your money is safe. It's secure. You'll never lose money, and you can generate income when you're retired. It's amazing. Joe Thomas is offering free phone consultations. All you got to do is mention you heard about him on the radio. And you can take advantage of those phone consultations for free no matter where you are in America or South Florida. You don't have to go to Jupiter. You can do it from anywhere in America, anywhere in Florida, anywhere in South Florida. Give him a call. Take advantage of his no-charge phone consultation. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And online, jupiterjoe.com. We'll be right back. All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William. Yeah, I just lost William Youngerman. I just lost him as I was doing the intro. We're going to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. We just lost the connection. Mike is getting him back. But let's go. All right, just in time. William Youngerman, how the metals looking today?
Metals looking good, Brian. After a huge rally yesterday, the markets are doing amazing, heading towards that $2,600 number we've been talking about. Yesterday, we saw gold gain $47.80, climbing to $2,558.30 an ounce. Silver gaining $1.19 yesterday at $29.84 the ounce. Platinum up $24 at $9.77, and palladium up $32 at $1,034. The rally continues this morning with gold up $12.50 right now at $2,570.80 the ounce. Silver up 26 cents at $30.05, and platinum up $15 at $992. Palladium up $5 at $1,039. So the markets are doing very well.
Wow. That's amazing. Is $2,600 gold in the future here?
As we forecasted in January, we think we'll see before November this year.
Oh, my goodness. Well, November's almost here.
$30 from that number. So.
Yes, I know. I know. It's hard for me to believe we're even talking about these numbers. I mean, it's so high now. It's absolutely amazing.
you'd be talking about the trillions of dollars in debt we are either.
Well, that's true. You know, the reason gold's going up is many, but one of it is the big central banks, they load up on it, right? I guess to protect themselves from all the losing the paper money value.
Exactly. Yep. It is continuing to go lower now, so we're going to as the dollar continues, and as soon as that dollar drops under 100 on the dollar index, I believe we'll be firmly into the $2,600 gold.
And you guys know, gold is money. It is money, and it has been money for over 5,000 years, and I suspect it'll be money 5,000 years plus from now too. Give William Youngerman a call. His number toll free. He opens at 10 a.m. is 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. You can stop in Boca at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. His shop is on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. And you can get both his phone number and address on his website, WilliamYoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, have a great weekend. We'll talk on Monday.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, and we'll be back.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast.
All righty, now just one last message for the week, and then we'll go back to the calls. You know, this morning I put on my Apple Watch, and I don't wear my Apple Watch or any watch very often, but I put it on today, and I have not worn it in about 2 weeks. And you know what I had to do? I had to tighten it tighter than I normally do. I put it up on one hole tighter than I was doing before, the last time I wore it just 2 weeks ago. I've changed nothing in my diet. The only thing I've changed is I've been going over to Game Day Men's Health, and I got my testosterone checked. You know, low testosterone, which I had, causes all kinds of problems. Chronic fatigue, loss of muscle strength, loss of muscle, increased belly fat, decreased libido, erectile dysfunction, brain fog, poor sleep, anxiety, depression, a decline in your memory. And I was, you know, men, we don't have menopause. We have something called andropause. It's male menopause. And that's certainly what I was going through. And now with Game Day Men's Health, they have restored my testosterone levels to where they were when I was in my 20s. And I've been telling you how great I've been feeling, the energy I've had. I was dealing with anxiety, a little depression. That's all gone. And all these other problems that I listed there, they're all gone too. And now I've even lost some weight. Isn't that something? Give them a call and change your life like I've changed mine. And they're right across the hallway from the radio station here as well. 561-355-5341. 561-355-5341. That's 561-355-5341 for Game Day Men's Health. All right, make sure you tell them I told you about them. Okay, back to the phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian, it's JJ from Mass.
Hey, JJ.
I was, a lot of things happened in these past few days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The debate about the debate, this refugee illegals thing in Springfield is crazy. But, with regard to the debate, this fact-checking thing kind of... it wasn't fact-checking. It was fact-blinding and burning and blocking, and these moderators were more like murderators, murdering the truth at every turn. And, Harris she lied. It was I actually watched this. I sat through it. It was excruciating, really, but she lied practically, pretty much, I think, the whole damn way. I was waiting for her to say, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor, period. And yesterday's show, when you were talking, things got pretty heated with you and Richie, and I was just like, I want to send ABC flowers and chocolates and a thank you card, because that debate, it'll lift video.
Well, I'll tell you something about the debate. I didn't get to this, but I'm going to mention this at the end here. I've come to realize something. If you've noticed, there's a lot of attacks going on Laura Loomer. Started yesterday on CNN. Marjorie Taylor Greene had a press conference on the Capitol steps about Laura Loomer yesterday. And this conversation that I've had with different callers today, now I know exactly what this is all about. Laura Loomer was this is what was reported yesterday, and I knew this part. Laura Loomer flew to and from the debate with President Trump on his plane. She had some conversations with him at some point prior to the debate on the flight. And the stories yesterday on CNN and in the New York Post said that Laura Loomer gave him some advice about what to say to go on the attack during the debate, and it backfired. And they didn't say what it was. And I was thinking, he didn't really go on the attack. And now I realized they're going to put this eating cat thing on Loomer. President Trump mentioned the eating cat thing, and you can tell the story's getting walked back now. So they're laying that comment on Loomer, telling him, because the story yesterday said when he was getting off the plane, this is what it said in New York Post. Last night it came out. Laura Loomer told Trump to go on the attack about something. It didn't say what it was as he was exiting the aircraft. So they're going to put the cat story on Loomer. I'm telling you, that's what's going on.
Loomer to me is straight up. I love it. She's straight up. I got no issue.
What I've learned about Loomer is her reporting is always right. I've never known her to be wrong, ever.
I mean, you got to go with the historical record on that. But what I'm thinking about is this, Brian. We've had 150 plus nations come across our border, and listen, they've brought their culture with them. And a lot of these nations, I mean, I've got relatives in Vietnam, and I'm just telling you, there are places in the world where dogs and cats are, you better keep them in your house. So with 150 different nations in our country and all their different cultures, I can guarantee you that there is some crazy stuff like that going on. I don't know. Springfield, we'll find out as time goes, but it would not surprise.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Are there videos of child rape from child sacrifice or the organ harvesting? I'll tell you where there are videos are. There are videos of Planned Parenthood selling assassinated baby parts.
Yeah. But what people don't film themselves doing weird things like this, okay? And especially criminal things. All right, I appreciate the call, Brian. I'm going to run, but I got a full board here. Take care. All right, I'm taking these calls in the order in which they were received to the best of my ability. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Yeah, you're on the air.
I'm calling from Cleveland.
All right, turn the volume down, Cleveland.
All right. Cleveland, up to clarify one thing first. That was in Canton. It wasn't in Cleveland.
I said that earlier. The body cam was Canton. I said that earlier when I played the audio.
Because you said.
But it's still Ohio. It's still Ohio, Canton.
It's Ohio, and there's lots of crazy things all over the place, not just Ohio. But I was just wondering about another thing is about Vance's comment about the childless
cat ladies.
Yeah, the childless.
Yeah, what's wrong with that comment? That's a perfect comment.
So, it is.
Yes.
You had to adopt your child, so obviously you couldn't have children for some reason, and you didn't take that offensively when someone.
Well, first off, everything you said is inaccurate. I want to clarify. I did not have to adopt my daughter. My wife and I chose to adopt my daughter. My wife and I can both conceive children. Okay, I can impregnate, and my wife can. Well, my wife's older now and had a hysterectomy, but back then, my daughter's 25. She could conceive. Okay, but my wife has a serious health issue, and we chose to adopt because we didn't want to pass her health issue on to a child. Okay, so I want to. No, the childless cat lady, I'll explain it to you real quick, which you know, but you don't want to know. You just want to hate J.D. Vance. But hey, listen, you're from Cleveland, which is a very liberal town. That's where the Obama phone lady was at. Remember her? Okay, you're from a very liberal city, Cleveland. I know Cleveland, and every joke about Cleveland is well-deserved. But you, the childless cat lady, the textbook example is Kamala. Kamala has no children. None. Stepkids don't count. And all Kamala cares about is advancing herself right now, right here, today. She doesn't care about her legacy. I care about the future. I've got a child. I'm going to have grandchildren. So when you're a childless cat lady and you're running the country and you have no care about the future when you're no longer on the earth, that's not the kind of people you want running the country. That's what that means. Your response?
Well, yeah, because that's just, okay, there's women out there that choose a career, just like men choose a career.
Yes, but they're not running. But the president of the United States is leader of the world and of our country. Okay, having no children and having a job is different than being the president. Kamala.
That someone running the country should have morals.
Well, Kamala does not have morals.
Okay, I'm not talking about Kamala.
You just talked about childless cat ladies, and we're talking. It's Kamala. It's the childless cat lady.
Let's switch it up for a minute. How about morals?
Sure. Yes.
Having respect for women. How about not making fun of disabled people that have no children?
Who made fun of Who made fun of disabled people?
Okay, if you didn't see the video, I watched it live.
That's not true. I watched it live too. He was making fun of a reporter in a way that he made fun of many people. He was not making fun of his disability. That's not true.
Brother, how about the article that just came out from his own brother, who said he told him his son would be better off?
I don't believe that. I don't believe that story.
Did you see it?
I don't believe that story. But Kamala and you Democrats believe that children should be aborted if they have disabilities. That's one of the reasons that women have abortions on the left.
First of all, I have a son with a disability I'm far from, and I knew about his disability when I was 10 weeks.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate that he's being raised by an angry liberal woman.
I'm not angry.
Oh, yes.
I'm angry when people go and criticize.
President Trump was not making fun of someone's disability. That is not true. He was making fun of a liberal reporter.
Okay, let's go back to this then.
I've only got a few seconds left.
Okay, you just told somebody that they needed to seek
therapy, a therapist. Yes, for their yes.
Don't you feel that being obsessed with one person is a little unhealthy, such as yourself and Steve?
Who am I obsessed with?
You are obsessed with Donald Trump.
Not true. I'm obsessed with, you mean Mike Lindell from My Pillow? Yeah, promo code King. I'm obsessed with our country being successful.
Yeah, I love my country too.
Oh, I can tell. It's hard to love a country when you're living in Cleveland. Take care. Thanks for the call. We're out of time, and we have a full board of calls. Hang in there. We'll be back Monday morning at 6 a.m. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. See you Monday.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach.
Hey guys, if you're new, subscribe. Those of you that aren't sub, please like the video, guys. All right? I will see you guys throughout the